It's the National Football League on CBS Week 13 from the Pacific Northwest. An AFC West battle. The Denver Broncos and Seahawks next. Welcome back to Husky Stadium here in Seattle. Denver and Seattle ready to go at it. A perfect day for football. 46 degrees, chilly and rainy. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. And let's take a look at the AFC West standings. Broncos still with an opportunity to catch the Oakland Raiders. They come into this game 7-4 overall, 2 games behind the Raiders. Mike Shanahan, the head coach of the Broncos, in his 6th season, his team 7-4. They've won 3 straight games. And on the other sideline, Mike Holmgren in his 2nd year with the Seahawks, 4-7. They're coming off the bye week, and they defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars at Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago. So Seattle has won the toss, and they have chose to receive the football. Steve Lindsay kicking it away, and back deep, Charlie Rogers, who's averaging 24 yards per return for the Seahawks. And this is Rogers from his own goal line. Gets up to the 15 and is down at the 18-yard line. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you, and for the Denver Broncos, the playoffs have already begun. They can't afford to lose another game.
They've got to be perfect down the stretch. The key for them today, come out with a high emotional level. They've played down to their level of competition this year. Always been up for the big games like the Raiders games, but haven't played well against the San Diegos and the Cincinnatis. Playing against a team that has less talent than them, they've got to be emotionally charged here in the first half.
So the Seahawks at quarterback, it's Brock Heward. And he missed 3 games with a concussion. Suffered against the Oakland Raiders. And he will pass on first down out of the backfield to Ricky Watters, out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Ricky Watters having an outstanding season, rushing and receiving. So a look at the numbers for Heward, who played here at Washington in college. He's 0-3 as a starter. However, John Kitna led the team to victories last 2 games, but Mike Holmgren told us he wants Heward in the backfield.
And I think he's going to have a little bit of a safe game plan here in the first quarter, first half, see what type of defenses and how aggressive Denver's coming out there.
2nd down and 6. Ricky Watters goes straight ahead, and he gets the ball over the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Offensively, for the Seahawks, they rank 28th in the NFL, 21st rushing, 28th passing. Jones, Kendall, Gray, Wedderburn, and McIntosh. Backs and receivers, Ricky Watters is the tailback, Strong, Dawkins and Mays, the receivers, Christian Fourier, the tight end. Brings up 3rd down and 1. Strong and Alexander in the backfield, and this is Alexander, the rookie out of Alabama, running over the left side, and he will not get the first down. Al Wilson with the tackle in the middle.
And that's something this Denver Bronco defense has had trouble with this year, wrapping up, making big plays on 3rd down. Al Wilson a little charged up, made the big stop right there along with John Mobley.
So the Seahawks forced to punt it away. Jeff Fiegels stands at his 13-yard line. Delta O'Neal, dangerous return man, a rookie out of Cal, is back deep at the 30. Here's O'Neal. Makes a step up and goes down at the 35. So with 13-12 to go here in the first quarter of play, Gus Frerotte trots onto the field. And Frerotte, coming off a career day, threw for a franchise record 462 in their win over San Diego, tied a team record with 5 touchdowns. However, he did throw 4 interceptions, and he's auditioning right now, so to speak, Brent.
And he is. Make no bones about it. He's under a 1-year contract. There's a lot of teams in the National Football League looking for a starting quarterback, and Gus Frerotte clearly has the arm strength. Mike Shanahan told us one of the top 5 arm strengths in the league.
Strong first down and 10. Broncos to pass on first down. Frerotte plenty of time in the pocket, and he gets it out to Mike Anderson. And Anderson picks up a first down at the 45-yard line. Offensively for Denver, they're dangerous. Ranked 2nd in the NFL, the 2nd leading passing offense behind the Rams, 10th rushing. Their offensive line, none better. Jones, Friedman, Neal, and Matt Lepsis. Backs and receivers, Mike Anderson in once again for the injured Terrell Davis, along with Griffith, Rod Smith, and Ed McCaffrey, the #1 receiving tandem in the NFL. Dwayne Carswell, the tight end, and their tight ends collectively have 80 receptions on the season. First down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Out of the offset eye, play action. Farrat on the roll. Farrat sets up, goes over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Rod Smith. So let's check in with Jim Nantz for the first time in New York.
All right, thank you, Gus. Buffalo and Tampa Bay. This may have iced it right here for the Bucs. Warwick Dunn, second touchdown of the day. 39-yard burst, 31-17 Tampa. 2 minutes to go. Looks like the Bills will fade to 7-5. Back to Gus and Brad.
All right, Jim, so Doug Flutie getting an opportunity once again. He had led the team to 3 straight wins prior to last week's game against Kansas City. Rob Johnson coming in. Second and 10 from the 46-yard line. And this is Mike Anderson over the right side. And he'll pick up a couple. King in on the play. And defensively for the Seattle Seahawks, ranked 31st in the NFL. Dead last, 28th rushing, 30th passing. Sinclair, Parker, Kennedy, and Lamar King. The linebackers, Chad Brown has 6 sacks. George Kuntz and Anthony Simmons leads him in tackles. And in the secondary, young Sean Springs, one of the best around. Willie Williams, the other corner. Bellamy and Kerry Joseph. Third down and 8 from the 47-yard line. They need to go to the 45 for a first down. Here's Gus Farrat standing strong in the pocket. Finds Rod Smith for a first down. And Smith all the way down to the 35-yard line. Make it the 36. Kerry Joseph with the tackle, and Rod Smith picks up 17 yards. And what a season he's having.
Boy, Rod Smith has been phenomenal this year. The most underrated wide receiver in the league coming across. Anthony Simmons, the linebacker's got to keep him from coming across the middle. Just clear out the zone with your other 2 wide receivers and bring Rod Smith underneath the defense.
And Rod Smith just set the Broncos single-season record with 1,249 yards receiving this year. Farrat in trouble. Breaks contain and gets rid of it. And a flag on the play.
And I think they're going to call grounding, Gus. He threw the ball way over the head of the receiver out there, eluding the pass rush of Chad Brown. Still not outside the tackle box or the tight end box, which is called the pocket from tight end to tight end.
Intentional grounding, number 12 on the offense. It'll be second down at the spot of the pass. Second down.
And clearly a judgment call. You're going to see he's still in the pocket, eludes the rush right there, rolls out, and just throws the ball up and out of bounds. Good call by the referee.
Second down and a long 23. They run it over the right side. Not a lot of room. Mike Anderson tackled by Chad Brown. And Rod Smith sets the single-season record for reception yards. He came into this game with 75 catches for 1,232. He goes by Steve Watson and Lionel Taylor to become the #1 receiver for a season.
And look at this, Gus, leading the NFL in 3 of those categories. Second right here in receptions. The people in Denver know how fantastic he is. We got to get the whole country to know about him because he is having the best year of any receiver in the National Football League.
And he lines up as a tailback right now, and they pitch it to him. Rod Smith gets inside the 40-yard line. Down to the 39, Willie Williams with the tackle. Not a bad runner.
Hey, let's go back and analyze his style. Let's see what he can do. Let's see. There he is. Oh, bend down. He's a little bit tilted to the right. Takes the pitch, looks the ball in. Follows that offensive line, cuts back. There you go, a little Denver offense. Got enough running backs that can seal that hole and cut back. And now Rod Smith says, hey, I can do it too.
He picked up 7 yards on the play. But the Broncos forced a punt. And this is Rodgers back deep. Tom Ruin sends it away. Takes a bounce and gets into the end zone. A 39-yard punt. Now Monday on CBS begins with an all-new King of Queens starring Kevin James and Jerry Stiller. Then the new series Yes Dear. followed by Everybody Loves Raymond, then Ted Danson, the man to the left, in Becker and Family Law. Now stay with us here at CBS all afternoon. If there are any breaking developments regarding the presidential election, CBS News will be along with all the details. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you from Husky Stadium. They're building the new Seahawks facility, and they'll be in this place this season and next season. First down and 10 from the 20 for the Hawks, and Ricky Waters maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And let's take a look. They blew up the King Dome, and this is the new stadium. What they have of it so far, construction this week, and 70% of it will be covered. And that was pretty interesting video to watch the Kingdom get blown up.
Yeah, it was fun. We kept replaying that one at home. My kids love that. Blow up the Kingdom again.
Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. And no gain once again. This time it's Kavika Pittman in on the play. Defensively for the Broncos, they rank 20th, 9th against the rush, 27th against the pass. Tanuvasa trailer. Trevor Price having a Pro Bowl season with 9 sacks. The linebackers, Bill Romanowski, he's played in 204 straight without missing a game. Wilson and Mobley. And in the secondary, Jimmy Spencer replaces Ray Crockett out with a hamstring. Terrell Buckley, 5 interceptions, tied for first in the AFC. Third down and 9 from the 21. They need to go to the 30 for first down. Heward to the sideline, incomplete. Ball intended for Derek Mays. And already some grumbling from the Seattle faithful. And Brock Heward today starting here in Seattle. His brother, his older brother, Damon, is starting today for the Miami Dolphins. Jay Fiedler out with a shoulder injury.
And Mike Holmgren told us Brock and this offense for Seattle would start off a little bit more conservative, just seeing what this Broncos defense is going to do. They're a junkyard dog type of defense, bring a lot of blitzes, a lot of different looks.
Second punt of the game for Feagles, and Delta O'Neal with the fair catch at the 45. He is drilled. Isaiah Kasavinsky, the rookie out of Harvard, did not see the fair catch signal, and that will be a penalty.
And he got up saying, hey, what did I do? I didn't do anything. He didn't see the fair catch signal. And that's going to be a big penalty, stupid mistake for the Seattle Seahawks here right off the bat. You got to run down the field with your head up. You got to be able to see that fair catch signal.
Kasavinsky leads the team in special teams tackles with 9. So a flag also at the 28-yard line. I thought Harvard guys were supposed to be smarter than that.
Yeah, I thought so too. Are you saying Harvard people aren't that smart?
No, Isaiah, we are kidding.
That's exactly right.
Mr. and Mrs. Kasavinsky, we are kidding.
But I guarantee you that's what Mike Holmgren's saying right now.
So a personal foul called against the Broncos.
Yeah, and there were some Denver Broncos upset about that hit and took a big shot at Kasavinsky. And you've got to keep your composure, Gus. Another team makes a stupid mistake. You got to just stand there, not take a shot at them, not take a swing, because you're going to have great field position.
There are 3 fouls on the play. Ineligible on the kicking team, 56 illegally downfield. Personal foul, 23 on the kicking team. Late hit out of bounds. Interference with the opportunity to fair catch, 53. The penalty is offset, re-kick.
So they'll do it again. And Mike Shanahan can't believe it on the sideline.
Mike Shanahan saying, hey, what about the fair catch signal, taking the shot right there? And let's go back to the fair catch. Delta O'Neal, you'll see him wave his arm just like he's supposed to do. Give it the old rainbow shot. Bang. And that's a personal foul right there. There comes Burns coming in, taking a shot, protecting his punt returner, and all kinds of bedlam going down on the field. Personal foul out of bounds.
And interestingly enough, the ref signaled all 3 penalties against Seattle.
Yeah,
He
that was
didn't
a
point
lot
the other way.
That was a lot to remember. That's a lot of fouls and a lot of numbers, and no wonder Coach Shanahan was perplexed.
So Delta O'Neal hovering around the 40-yard line. Jeff Fiegels will be back for the Seahawks at about the 6.
And it's been great to see Delta O'Neal's confidence grow throughout this season. You see him not only out there returning punts, but in nickel coverage now, and he's her first rounder, up and coming, really gaining some confidence, really can make some things happen on these punt returns. Got some great elusiveness back there.
This one off the side of the foot of Jeff Fiegels. O'Neal gets away from it. And let's see where the walk ends for the sideline official. He gets all the way up to the 46-yard line. A 33-yard punt. For the most complete NFL coverage, including game-by-game analysis and potential playoff scenarios, click on NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. So the Denver Broncos are coming off a 38-37 win over the San Diego Chargers. And in that game, Gus Frerotte came off the bench for the injured Brian Griese and lit up the scoreboard. But as you mentioned, the Broncos sometimes play down to their competition.
They do. They just don't seem to have the fire as if they're playing the Raiders or the Chiefs. They just have been walked on by teams that aren't as talented as they are.
Mike Anderson over the left side, and Anderson gets to midfield. George Kuntz with the tackle. And Mike Anderson comes into this game with 776 yards rushing. He's averaging close to 5 yards per carry. But the big story in Denver could surround Terrell Davis. Davis out of the lineup once again. He is suffering from a calf injury, and he has had a knee injury, an ankle injury. Not on the sideline, not dressed, not active today. 2nd and 6. Frerotte underneath, caught by Anderson. So Terrell Davis, and there's some rumbling going on in Denver. And the question is, will Terrell Davis play hurt, or is he waiting to be 100%? He's over there somewhere with a hood on, and we're trying to find him as we speak. Brent, you know, what do you think? Should Terrell Davis be on the field right now?
And I think this is him, Gus, back here. You see he's got his hood on and dancing around the sidelines, being elusive even over there on the sidelines. And we'll come back to it after this play right here.
On 3rd down and 3 from the 47-yard line. Frerotte, the short drop on the slant. It's caught. Ed McCaffrey with the catch and the 1st down.
And going back to Terrell Davis, there's things in this league that you understand as a player. One of those is you play hurt. You don't play injured. And the big question right now is Terrell Davis injured or is he hurt? He's got a lot of confidence in himself. I know he's got a high standard. Maybe he's waiting until he's 100% or 95%. Maybe he's only 70% right now. But this Broncos team needs a 70% Terrell Davis. They need him back there, even if it's only for 15 or 20 plays a game. Be suited up. Get on your teammates' good side. Encourage them. You got to be able to go out there and make something happen, at least some plays during the game.
Frerotte flushed out of the pocket towards the sideline. Fires. Rod Smith. Did he have both feet in bounds? I believe he did. No, it is an incomplete pass.
And let's go back to the end of the spot. Watch Rod Smith trying to make something happen when the quarterback breaks the pocket. Come back to your quarterback. He's going to catch the ball up top, but his back foot looked like it might have stepped on that line. Looks like his heel came down out of bounds. You're going to see it right there. Out of bounds. Good call by the refs right on top of it.
2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Anderson once again gets to the 35.
And guys, let's go back to Terrell Davis' situation, because this is a big issue for the Broncos, especially gumming down the line, the playoff stretch. Do you need your big gun? Of course you do. He's had several MRIs. They've found no structural damage in the ankle or the knee. They say it's a tissue problem. He's saying it's hurting. And who am I to doubt what Terrell Davis says? That is really the question. I don't know what he's feeling inside. I think that from his past, you got to believe him. But this Bronco team needs him. He realizes there's going to be rumblings, because you've got to be out there during the playoff stretch. You can't be healthy for February. That doesn't help the team.
Frerotte on the run, and it's it's almost picked off. Sean Springs stepping in the passing lane, intended for Travis McGriff. And that will bring up a 4th down.
Sean Springs, one of the few bright spots on this Seattle defense. You see him coming out of his break like there, looking like a wide receiver. He was watching Gus Frerott's eyes, and sometimes when you're a quarterback with a strong arm, you think you can make all the throws. But watch out for Sean Springs today, because he can really come out of those breaks, make something happen, read the quarterback's eyes, and jump some routes.
So Rodgers back deep. Ruin stands at midfield. Gets it away, pops this one high in the air, and it takes a bounce, and it's down inside the 15-yard line, a 21-yard punt. However, he buries him inside the 20. Monday on CBS, these attorneys are after a war criminal. But did this man torture and kill millions? See how far one law firm will go to prove his identity. It's an all-new Family Law Monday on CBS.
Played a couple softball games over the year versus Tony Danza.
Did you really? He's not a bad player, is he?
He's more than not a bad player. He's a great athlete.
Seattle starts 1st down and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go, 4:52 here in the 1st quarter. Strong and Ricky Waters in the backfield on the play fake. Heward out of the backfield to Ricky Waters, and it's incomplete. Husky Stadium here in Seattle. We would like to welcome all of you that watched the Buffalo-Tampa Bay game, won by the Bucs 31-17. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, 4:47 to go in the 1st quarter of play. No score between the Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks, a classic AFC West battle. Brock Heward, who missed 3 consecutive games with a concussion during the Oakland Raiders game, is in at quarterback for the Hawks, and he is sacked in the backfield. John Mobley, and Heward is down and gets up slowly.
And Gus, what a brutal shot from John Mobley coming on Heward's blind side. He's a left-hander, so his blind side is his offensive right. And the Broncos, you see Mobley out here in the slot. He's going to come right now. Nobody's going to pick him up. The guard or tackle's got to turn back. They can't have a free shot at your quarterback like that. That's a mental mistake. Somebody there on the offensive line's got to double read and come back out and protect your quarterback, especially his blind side, especially after coming back from concussion here a month ago.
And he calls a timeout. Seattle calls a timeout. Brock Heward walking over to the sideline. The backup quarterback is John Kitna. He's led him to 2 straight wins.
Log on now for Southwest Airlines $99 or less internet specials, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
They're calling you. The places you want to be. The things you want to do. But you're not going to get there until you finish this stuff. That's why there's True Value. We get you in and out fast. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
And right now, come in for one of True Value's 12 gifts of Christmas. A folding sports armchair with carrying case is just $12.99. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
It has the DNA of giants in its sheet metal. Cars that raced on fields of honor. It has motor oil for blood and a 250 horsepower heart. Because 50 years ago, like today, there were just 2 kinds of cars on the road. Those that pass and those that get passed. Chrysler 300M, the most powerful V6 sports sedan in its class. Now, during the Chrysler Holiday Sale, lease the 300M for $399 a month.
What happens this evening in Florida could determine who the next president will be. So this is 160 Minutes you don't want to miss. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Brock Heward on the sideline still trying to shake it off. As we mentioned, He had a concussion, missed 3 consecutive weeks, and this is what it looked like. John Mobley rushing the passer at full speed. Nasty hit. What makes it even worse is his head hitting the ground when he's tackled.
And Trevor Price was standing up as a linebacker inside and then ran up to the line of scrimmage and really took the attention of the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks, and they blocked down, and nobody came back out to check Brock Huard's blind side.
And for Mobley, that was his first sack this season. As a matter of fact, his first sack since September 20th of 1998 at Oakland. Third down and a long 15 from the 10. They need to go to the 25. Huard standing strong in the pocket, fires it up top, and it is out of bounds. Derek Mays, the intended receiver, but...
And I'm not so sure they're not going to say that he was forced out of bounds, Gus, and it's whether he had that ball. The officials are talking about it right now. Derek Mays has been known to go up and make big plays, and he went up after that ball. Huard throwing it into double coverage. The Seahawks were going crazy on the sideline, but you expect them to. And they're trying to all figure out what is the call, and it looks like they're going to call it a catch.
Wow. A 39-yard gain for Derek Mays, his 14th catch of the year.
And they haven't given the signal for a force out. Watch Derek Mays go up in between 2 Broncos defenders. There's the catch. There's one. Look at that drag. That's a big-time play right there. Great call by the officials. No force out. There's the catch. Watch him drag that back foot. That is phenomenal presence of mind in between 2 defenders to make that play.
Here's the draw. Ricky Waters gets inside Denver territory. Tackled by Keith Traylor. Derek Mays joined the Seahawks back on August 30th in a trade with the Green Bay Packers for a 7th-round choice in 2000. He's missed 3 games this year, Brent, because he broke his fingers warming up with Brock Huard prior to Huard's first start.
Boy, and they've really needed him. They look to him to kind of be the leader of this receiver crew. Been banged up a couple times. Really been known for making big plays. Really hasn't gotten into the swing of the offense, but can strike at any time, and that was a huge play.
2nd down and 6 from the 46. Huard over the middle, and it's caught at the 43-yard line by Sean Dawkins. John Mobley with the tackle. Brock Huard in his 2nd year out of Washington. This is the concussion against the Oakland Raiders.
And he gets hit on the side of the helmet. Doesn't look like one of those typical brutal shots that you take. Right there, you see it. Mike Holmgren was telling us about the concussions and what he's learned. He said that sometimes getting hit on the side can set you back even longer. Brock Huard told us that first week he slept 18 to 19 hours a day. Get up, go to practice, come back home, and go to sleep. It's taken him almost a month to recover from it.
3rd down and short. And here sprints out, delivers. It's caught and incomplete, they call it. Darrell Jackson, the intended receiver. Delta O'Neal covering.
And we talked about Delta O'Neal getting some confidence. Does a great job of stripping that ball while the receiver was going out of bounds. And they might actually be ruling it complete on the field. Although from up here, it did not look like the ball was hung on to down there.
Delta O'Neal stripping the ball.
And actually, Gus, it's going to end up being a catch. O'Neal stripped the ball.
The ruling on the
went out of
field
bounds.
is incomplete pass. The receiver never had control of the ball. 4th down.
So let's take another look at it.
And Gus, watch the throw out here. Jackson reaching back, catch. Let's see, does he have it? Yep, he sure has it. He has it, and then it's stripped. That was a catch and a 1st down. Catch, fumble, ball out of bounds, 1st down. And if you're the Seattle Seahawks, why don't you challenge that? You don't really have anything to lose right now.
Instead, they bring the punter in, and O'Neal is back at the 10. Beagles angling it towards the corner. Wobbly kick. Delta O'Neal allows it to take a bounce, and it's down inside the 5. Fabian Bones backup wide receiver downs the ball. 2:02 to go. No score. Brock Hewitt on the sideline, still trying to clear his head.
Check it out.
The next generation Chrysler Town and Country.
You do that?
I saw you did. Let's get out of here.
With power sliding doors and liftgate with an obstacle detection system, Chrysler Town & Country is the best minivan ever. During the Chrysler Holiday Sale, get 4.9 financing on Town & Country LX or low lease rates.
They stand at the top of the mountain. Two unbeaten champions on a collision course with destiny. He's the WBA champion, and he strikes like lightning. He's the IBF champion. His knockout punches like a hurricane. Forces of destruction. Don't miss the title unification bout between Felix Trinidad and Fernando Vargas. Brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers.
Right now at Sears means lowest tire prices of the year on selected Michelin, Goodyear, Pirelli, and more. So don't forget to give your wheels something nice at the most important time of the year. Sears, give the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
From Amazon.com to Yahoo, from Cisco to Sun, companies that know the internet best run Oracle. Oracle. Software powers the internet.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. iOmega, makers of the new Hip Zip photo show and the award-winning line of Zip products. And by Chrysler, we're reinventing the passion for driving.
Those guys are celebrities now. Pikes Place Market. I see those guys more than I see the announcers when I watch a Seahawks game.
And you know how hard it is to catch a slimy fish?
I'm sure. Mike Anderson over the right side, and he picks up 3, possibly 4 yards on the play. Matt LeBounty in on the tackle.
You know, thus far this Denver Bronco offense has been a little conservative. Seattle's defense has given up some big plays this year. That's part of their downfall. They've been solid at times, but given up too many big plays. I can't believe that the Broncos haven't tested them deep yet. And I think here in the next few plays, you're going to see them take a shot downfield. They've got to go after this team because they've given up too many big plays.
Gus Frerotte, one of the top 5 in arm strength in the NFL, according to his head coach, Mike Shanahan. But they run it again. And the Broncos told us once again that they wanted to run the football today. They weren't worried about throwing it as much.
Well, they don't want to put the pressure all on Gus Frerotte to go ahead and throw the ball 55-plus times in a game, especially with the weather conditions. It's wet out there. There's too much pressure on your offensive line. All the things. You don't want to have your quarterback standing back there in the pocket and potentially take some shots. Chad Brown can get free, and you want to be able to balance that offense. Denver's been one of the best teams in the league at balancing the run and the pass.
3rd down and 3 from the 13. They're 2 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Play action for Watt looking, and he finds his tight end. It's number 89, Dwayne Carswell, who gets all the way up to the 25-yard line. And the tight ends have done an excellent job for this Denver team this year.
They have been phenomenal. The 3-headed tight end. Watch Dwayne Carswell. He's going to come across right here on the shallow cross. Bump into the linebacker, keep coming across. Nobody in the zone. If nobody's in your zone, you keep running. You treat it like man coverage. Nobody's there, and Carswell's been doing a great job of making the big catch and getting upfield this year.
40 catches on the season. The tight ends have a combined 80. He gains 11 on the play. Mike Anderson running over the right side, and he gets to the 30-yard line. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter with the score 0-0. We'll return to Seattle right after this message.
This is Corey. Corey's MP3 player uses $100 memory cards. He can only afford one. Oh, heck. Corey's out of music again. Stupid move, Corey. This is Mac. His newfangled Hip Zip digital audio player holds a whole CD on each pocket zip disc for as little as $10. Mac is a genius. Hip zip, pocket zip, zip it.
Its ancestors knew the grit of the sand at Daytona, where a mile measured the length of your nerve. It is not meek. It is not humble. It is what happens when you take the soul of the past and meld it with the best of the new. Chrysler 300M, the most powerful V6 sports sedan in its class. Now, during the Chrysler holiday sale, lease the 300M for $399 a month.
That snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings, handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price.
Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No. Weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
For technology gifts they really want, it's Staples.
Kentucky heads into Tar Heel territory to face Joe Forte and North Carolina as two of the nation's top teams jumpstart NCAA basketball on CBS.
I'll be telling you which teams are headed uptown and which teams are headed downtown.
I'll tell you why he's wrong.
No score, start of the second quarter. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you from Husky Stadium here in Seattle. Mike Holmgren, your coach in San Francisco.
I wouldn't have played tight end if it wasn't for Mike Holmgren. Wouldn't have been in the NFL. He went to Bill Walsh and said, we need this guy. We need his receiving ability. And I owe an awful lot to him. Very special person in my life. Along with the coach on the other side of the field.
Anderson running, goes straight ahead. Mike Shanahan, also one of your coaches in San Francisco.
Absolutely. Mike Holmgren left to become head coach of the Packers, and in came Mike Shanahan, and I was a little nervous. Him coming over from the Denver Broncos under Dan Reeves. They run a lot of four wide receivers. I remember my first meeting with him. He sat down, he said, hey, Brent, relax. I'll keep you in on four wides. And I was a big Mike Shanahan fan from that point on.
That's when you got the name satellite tight end, right?
That's
you
right.
Were lined up all by yourself in no man's land.
That's right. Let me go in motion. Let me flex.
Third down and 1. Inside handoff, number 29 is Howard Griffith, the fullback, and he picks up the first down. George Kuntz, the veteran middle linebacker, with the tackle.
Nice to see Big Howard get the ball. Let him carry the ball. You talk about a guy that's unheralded, and we talk already about Rod Smith. Howard Griffith is phenomenal. One of the best fullbacks, if not the best fullback in the National Football League. Just sticks his head in there and continues to make big blocks, big holes for his running backs. And whether it's Terrell Davis or Olandis Gary or Mike Anderson, he is the one constant.
Play action for Rod Smith over the middle at the 45-yard line. Sean Springs with the tackle, but Rod Smith with a nice catch going over the middle.
Running that slant route, and one of the things that comes off of that slant, this Seattle defense, they like to sit at about 10 yards. Their corners are looking into the backfield, reading the steps of the quarterback. They know when that slant's coming, and one of the things that you like to do off of that, Mike Shanahan's sharp enough to know, you run the slant and go. You get that cornerback jumping on it. We might see that before this game's over.
Gain of 19, first and 10. Here's Mike Anderson, and Anderson gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Kerry Joseph with the tackle.
And we've seen Mike Anderson run with power this year, but all of these Denver tailbacks do a great job of cutting back. Watch him come up here, set up his blocks, and cut back. And the big guy, the former Marines, got more speed than I even thought. Look at Dan Neal, nice job sealing off the backside. Chad Brown and Mike Anderson getting downfield and making a big run.
Anderson already 9 carries, 43 yards, and picked up 16 on that play. First and 10 from the 30. Anderson in the middle, and he has dropped Cortez Kennedy in his 11th year out of Miami.
And that's a monster coming through the line, making something happen. One of the great all-time stories, Gus, with Cortez Kennedy. Watch him right here, pound through, make the big tackle. We were playing a preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks here several years ago in San Francisco. We had some hot dogs on the sidelines. We always put a towel over our head when we were out of the game. We had some extra, so Steve Young and myself sent him over to Cortez Kennedy, who didn't know the technique. He was eating them on the sideline, got on TV, got fined, and got in trouble.
All because of you and Steve Young.
Trying to take care of our buddy.
Gus Frerotte in trouble in the pocket, holds the ball a little too long, loses it, picked up 63-yard run.
And what a heads up by Mike Sinclair, and you can see he's a little out of gas. Too tired to high five. Let's watch Simmons come in here, 51, run past the center. Tom Nayland's block, does a great job. Once, twice, comes back a third time. That ball's loose, and there's Sinclair, and he doesn't fall on it. He picks it up. Tony Jones, the left tackle, giving chase. But no way will you be run down by an offensive lineman, and Sinclair, big-time play.
And the extra point is good. Michael Sinclair ran track in high school at Charlton Pollard High in Beaumont, Texas, and watched the speed going down the sideline. He probably threw the shot.
Look at that form.
He's got some great form, and Seattle has the lead.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Jeep Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now, when you buy a 2000 Grand Cherokee with low 0.9 financing, you can save up to $53.25 in finance charges. Or on a 2001 model, save up to $29.39 in finance charges with 4.9% financing. So take advantage of the Jeep Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
What kind of a company are we? Like you, we sometimes wonder what might have been. What if we'd married sooner instead of later? Or bought that house? Think of the money we'd have made. Life is a series of decisions which often can't be taken back, which is why planning is important. Talk with us at First Union. We can't change the past, but we can sure help with the future.
It's heard laughter, tears, secrets. It knows the sound of concern, of joy, and of regret. It's heard about movies, books, school, and boyfriends. And at times, simply heard nothing at all. If only there were a place that made you feel the way you did at your kitchen table.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. Circuit City, imagine that. And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Welcome back. A jubilant Seattle bench. Michael Sinclair scores his first NFL touchdown, and the Seahawks take a 7-0 lead. And Anthony Simmons making the play, knocking the ball out of Gus Frerott's hand. Seahawks send it away, and the Broncos start from their own 12-yard line. And they get it past the 20 up to the 24. Detron Smith running a 13-yard return. Sinclair ready to work again.
Honey, put the game down now. Come on, let's go.
It's hard to tear yourself away from Circuit City's new entertainment zone. It's got an expanded selection of the hottest new digital technology, like lots of digital and 35mm cameras you can try out, a cool interactive video game department, the latest PC software and upgrades, plus exciting MP3 products and more.
Honey, don't make me come back there.
I gotta go. Come see the all-new entertainment zone at Circuit City.
Go, 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 go.
Can't get enough football? Grab a Miller Lite, and any time is Miller time.
Go, 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 go.
Oh, yeah, that's a first down. Way to read the D. That's what I'm talking about.
Can't get enough football? Grab a Miller Lite, and any time is Miller time.
Who's calling these plays? Put in a backup.
It was a gathering of the world's most noted biologists, setting out to harness the power of the human gene. Out of it grew Biogen, one of the world's premier biopharmaceutical companies, honored for medical advances, acclaimed for industry leadership. With record sales and a stream of new products coming online, Biogen today ranks with the global leaders. Where do you find the companies who are defining the future? Exactly. NASDAQ, stock market for the digital world.
To defend an admiral accused of war crimes, Harm takes on the Navy's top brass.
If you get cute, I will cut you off at the knees.
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
It's just after 5 p.m. here in the East. The deadline for Florida counties counting and recounting presidential votes to submit their final official numbers to the Florida Secretary of State. She is expected to certify the winner of Florida's 25 electoral votes sometime after 6 p.m. Eastern Time this evening. The latest unofficial count from news sources indicates Texas Governor George Bush may be leading Vice President Al Gore by about 454 ballots. No matter who Harris declares the winner tonight, the battle for the White House is not over. Both sides have court challenges pending, including one the U.S. Supreme Court will hear on Friday. We'll be back on the air when the Florida Secretary of State says what she's going to do. We'll have a lot more on 60 Minutes. Dan Rather, CBS News Election Headquarters in New York. And now back to the game.
.11 to go here in the second quarter of play. Seattle leads Denver 7-0 on the Michael Sinclair fumble return for a touchdown. Denver has it second down at 3 at their own 31. Mike Anderson running over the left side. And while you were away, Gus Frerotte scrambled out of the pocket and gained 7 yards. The big play, Michael Sinclair, his first career touchdown after 10 years. 63 yards. Anthony Simmons jarring the ball away from Gus Frerotte. So here at Husky Stadium, the Denver Broncos coming into this game with a 7-4 record, winners of 3 straight games. Most recently, a 38-37 win over San Diego last week at home.
And we talked about the top of the program about coming out emotionally charged and ready this first half. They've played down to their level of competition. You see they've been a little flat. Offense hasn't gotten in sync. We haven't seen their patented bootleg. This is an instance where they like to run it. 3rd and short, little rollout, Gus Frerotte to the right. They haven't run it a lot yet today.
Empty backfield. Rod Smith lined up as a tailback using the slot. Quarterback draw, and Gus Frerotte gets to the 42-yard line.
And let's go back, Gus, to the big play of the game. Watch Anthony Simmons right here. And for your youngsters at home, watch when he makes contact with Tom Nalen, the best center in the league. He keeps his feet moving. That's called effort. Keep those feet going, battle through. Now watch, first time around, misses the ball, comes back, gets it the second time, takes it, rips it out of the quarterback's hand, allows Michael Sinclair to pick it up and make the big play downfield.
First down and 10 from the 42. Ed McCaffrey in motion. Here's the handoff to Anderson. He is drilled in the backfield by Simmons. Anthony Simmons is playing today. Now, while this was going on, Brock Heward left the field. Remember, he took a hard hit from John Mobley in the first quarter. John Kitna is the backup.
John Mobley having that free run at his backside. Just a brutal shot. Fortunate to hang on to the ball, but after you come back from a concussion, that's not the first shot you want your starting quarterback to take.
Second down and a long 13 from the 39. Frerotte underneath, caught by Carswell. And Carswell picks up the first down, stumbles forward to the 42-yard line. Jay Bellamy with the tackle. It's a gain of 20.
And one of the questions this year coming into the season, how are they going to replace Shannon Sharp with 3 tight ends, with Carswell leading the way, coming across on that shallow cross, no linebacker once again. Anthony Simmons gets picked off by one of the linebackers, one of his teammates. You got to be able to step up, cover that tight end. We've seen that 3 times with the Broncos today, twice with Carswell, once with Rod Smith.
Frerotte sets up, goes down the middle, it's caught. Rod Smith takes a hard hit, but gets inside the 20-yard line. Kerry Joseph there to stop him. But now the Broncos starting to march it down the field.
Rod Smith running a patented West Coast offense route. Deep cross, coming across at about 18 to 20. Gus Frerotte over the linebacker, in front of the safeties. Nice job by Rod Smith keeping his route flat so he doesn't drift. So it gives Gus Frerotte a nice target.
Denver with 10 first downs. Seattle with only 1. The handoff, and this is Karan Coleman in the game. And Coleman over the left side gets close to the 15. And it's interesting, when we talked to Rod Smith yesterday, he's putting up Pro Bowl numbers, and he's been to the Pro Bowl 1 time.
Yeah, he told us he went to the Pro Bowl because Ed McCaffrey paid for his way to go when Ed got selected. And it's just amazing to me how unheralded Rod Smith is. Every game we have him, he makes phenomenal plays. We know McCaffrey makes great plays as well. The top receiving tandem in the National Football League continue to do it. They better both be in Hawaii this year. I'm going to be upset.
8th play of the drive. Frerotte drops back on 2nd and 8. Looks into the end zone for McCaffrey, and Frerotte overthrows him.
And it's funny, Gus Frerotte coming off late to Ed McCaffrey, running a shake route, which you go to the post, you come back and you go to the corner. He had him early, and Ed's going to come back to the huddle and say, Gus, just a quick look earlier, we would have had 6. And they can come back to that, and they won't come back to it this next play, but they'll come back to it maybe in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, when the Seahawks aren't expecting it.
Brings up 3rd down and 8. They need to go to the 9-yard line for a first down. Empty backfield. Frerotte incomplete. Threw it behind Rod Smith. And the Broncos will send on the field goal team. Smith had a step on his closest defender.
And we've seen that ball sail now on Gus Frerotte a couple times. You just wonder if he's having to throw a slick ball down on this rubbery AstroTurf field. And we were down there on the field before the game started, and I love this new turf. It's like flubber down there.
Be a 35-yard attempt for Jason Elam. He's 14 of 18 for the season. Got it up, and good. So the Broncos are on the board. 6:33 to go, 2nd quarter of play. 7-3, Seattle.
It's seeking out the best of the best, believing they will reach their goals. It's concentrating on companies that exhibit sustainable earnings growth. It's believing in a winning philosophy that can achieve solid results. The American Century Growth Fund. It's what we call American confidence. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best.
And right now, save up to 50% at our holiday sale.
MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
This weekend at Zales, the diamond store, this exquisite 6-carat diamond line bracelet is just $9.99. At Zales stores nationwide or shop online at Zales.com.
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Friday, fugitive Richard Kimball will become the hunter because sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
You can't kill me!
The fugitive. Then, these investigators don't just solve crimes.
I want prints, I want film, I want everything.
They restore lives.
Evidence only knows one thing, the truth.
CSI After the Fugitive, CBS Friday.
John Kitna will be on the field at quarterback when the Seahawks get the ball back. Heward is in the locker room getting his ribs x-rayed, and his return is questionable. So the Broncos send it away. Lindsey, and this is Charlie Rogers from the 14-yard line, and he is swarmed under at the 20. 6:26 to go, 2nd quarter of play. John Kitna, he's pretty hot. He's won 2 in a row for this team, and at quarterback.
If you watch me,
matter what you need, you can count on dependable, long-lasting Chevy trucks. Now, make your money count on a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab with as low as 1.9% APR financing, giving you $2,607 in average finance savings. That's 1.9% APR. So make your money count during the year-end event at your local Chevy dealer now.
ダメだ。このバルブは高すぎるんだ。
サプライヤーはそこしかないですから。美智子はいかがですか。
美智子？
今オンラインで提示額が出ました。半額です。
どこの会社だ？
テキサスです。
テキサス。どうもありがとう。
Announcing a breakthrough in pizza technology. A pizza inside a pizza. To demonstrate how much we can pack inside Pizza Hut's new Insider, we're going to take these 4 giant sumos and pack them inside this photo booth. How cozy. How do we get it all in?
Well, we took one thin crust with 6 cheeses, sealed it with another crust, and even more cheese. And that's the amazing new Insider Pizza, all for just $9.99.
Say cheese.
The Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
The pomp, passion, and pride. For over a century, these two teams have been battling it out on the field. The 101st Army-Navy game, next Saturday on CBS.
And some angry Seahawks fans. Seattle leads it 7-3. So John Kitna in at quarterback now for the injured Brock Huard, who has tender ribs. Kitna was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week for his performance against Jacksonville when he went 22 of 33 for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's Kitna passing on first down, down the seam, incomplete. Reggie Brown may have had a touchdown in front of him. So John Kitna coming off a career high 117.1 quarterback passing rating.
And you see John Kitna going right now, taking a shot down the field. Seam route. Got to be able to come up with that. Ball slides right through your hands. That is a big play. You can't drop those. And you see Mike Holmgren taking John Kitna, who's got more experience than Brock Huard, and opening up the offense the first play. This Denver defense, we've talked about Seattle's defense giving up big plays, but this Denver defense has given up a ton of big plays this year as well.
And Kitna, closest man to the football, Derek Mays.
This is what they call the 5-yard chuck zone, Gus. Right out here. Watch this. Derek Mays. Bang. Ooh, Romanowski running into you. Trying to go with a little pick action there and not getting either one. And Romo's always in the middle. The first time we've called him all day today, but it won't be the last because he's always in the mix.
13 years in the NFL. He's never missed a game. 204 straight. 3rd down and 10 from the 19. They need to go to the 29 for a first down. Kitna sets up the screen. Here's Ricky Waters. He's got the first down at the 31. And the Seahawks want to turn the water on.
Oh, you know I love saying that. I've been saying that all week. When I played with Ricky in San Francisco, he used to always come back to the huddle, look at everybody and start screaming, "We got to turn the water on!" And that's going to be the key for the Seahawks here going into the second quarter and in the second half. They've got to turn the water on. And he was one of the outstanding backs coming out of the backfield catching the ball before Marshall Faulk got all his pub.
Ricky Waters, 3rd leading receiver on this team. That ball intended for 83, Karsten Bailey. And that will bring up 2nd down and 10. What happens this evening in Florida could determine who the next president will be. So this is 160 minutes you don't want to miss. 60 minutes tonight. 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Seahawks from their own 32. They hand it off to Ricky Waters. Over the right side. Waters, one man to beat, puts it back in, and they turn the water on here in Seattle. Ricky Waters.
And there you go. There's water all over. The dam's breaking for this Denver Bronco defense. Watch Ricky Bowles lead block, hit downfield. One-on-one versus safety. Little in, little out. Give me Shea. Coming back across the field. Going by everybody. Putting a big-time move on Terrell Buckley. Coming from the corner spot. Big-time play. The water's flowing, Gus.
Sean Alexander, meanwhile, is back up running over the right side.
And you talk about a guy that plays with passion, and watch coming back here inside. Big time block right there by Reggie Brown, springing Ricky Waters, little shake and bake, going big, back outside, finally getting brought down by Eric Brown there coming across the field. But Ricky Waters is a passionate guy. He plays on emotion, on passion. When he gets fired up, he plays even that much better.
7th play of the drive, 2nd down and 9 from the 12, and the Seahawks stay on the ground. Ma'atanuvasa with the tackle. And so Denver coming out flat.
Well, they just can't do this. The playoff stretch they need every game. They're going against all those teams in the AFC East for the wild card. Buffalo already lost today. They know that they've got to win these games. Their schedule is favorable down the stretch, but they seem to play down to the level of their opponents. Defense giving up too many big plays. We've seen a couple already. Man, I can't believe they're playing like this come playoff time.
Kitna, nice toss, Waters, and he is downed at the 1. Ricky Waters doing everything, catching passes out of the backfield, breaking the ball, running the ball rather, and he gets to the 1.
And he can be so explosive. Watch him come out of the backfield, little check block and slide back out. Nice job, one-hander. The ball's over his head and just gets down. That ball didn't cross the plane. Referee did a nice job marking it inside the 1 right there. You see his elbow hit. Great call, but Ricky Waters can ignite an offense single-handedly, and that's what he's done here in the 2nd quarter.
1st down and goal. Over the left side, touchdown Seattle. Waters. 5th rushing touchdown of the year for Ricky Waters. And the Seahawks take a 13-3 lead.
Little ground level shot. Ricky Waters coming right at you. Will get up inside, find the hole, forward lean, protect that ball. Very savvy veteran running back. Did an outstanding job this year. Just making things happen all over the field.
Ricky Waters, you had a chance to see his rushing numbers. He's also doing a pretty good job catching. 3 catches, 26 yards. And the Seahawks take a 13-3 lead over the Broncos with 2:54 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Six weeks before one of the biggest games of my life, I felt a strange pain in my chest. What my doctor found was my toughest opponent yet. 3 of my arteries were more than 90% blocked. After recovering from surgery, lowering my high cholesterol became more important than football. Later, I was fortunate enough to coach my team in the biggest game of the season. That's the kind of play we need. Along with a healthy diet and regular exercise, taking Zocor every day helps significantly lower my total cholesterol.
Zocor is a prescription medication and is not right for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems. Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor and about any medicines you are taking.
When diet and exercise are not enough, talk to your doctor about Zocor. Take care of yourself. It's your future. Be there.
Samsung joyfully introduces the world as you make it, where our digital technology has one job: to make life more fun. We want to thrill you, connect you, charm you, satisfy you, and delight you.
Everyone's invited
To the Samsung digital experience.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks. Zocor. Talk to your doctor about Zocor today. And by priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
2:54 to go, second quarter of play. Seahawks on top of the Broncos 14-3. Ricky Watters on the sideline. He's given his team a 14-3 lead. Seahawks send it away. Delta O'Neal at the 8-yard line. And O'Neal with the seam. He gets over the 30 and gets up to the 34-yard line. Here comes Gus Frerotte. 2:45 to go. Back in a moment.
Oh, he looks so handsome. Mommy's big man. You're such a big boy. I'm going to give you a big kiss.
$4.92 saved buying Spike a holiday sweater online. $6.42 overpaid on shipping.
Oh, you look so precious.
If your gifts aren't being sent priority mail, you're probably paying too much. So make sure to ask for it.
Fly like an eagle.
Her hand isn't ordinary when she's the one you love. To slip an extraordinary gift onto it, come to Kay Jewelers. This Christmas, give her Kay's 3-stone ring with diamonds hand-selected for exceptional beauty.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Kay Jewelers.
No matter what you need, you can count on dependable, long-lasting Chevy trucks. Now, make your money count on a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab with as low as 1.9% APR financing, giving you $2,607 in average finance savings. That's 1.9% APR. So make your money count during the year-end event at your local Chevy dealer now.
Thank you for calling the Speedy Glue Helpline. Your call will be answered in 82 minutes.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. That ought to hold you.
Ladies and gentlemen, check it out, John. Back by popular demand. Check it out, John. Are they crazy? Once again.
Now, that's a bad call.
Hey, somebody better figure out how to run the ball. They were going to knock you in the mouth.
14-3. Seattle on top of Denver. 2:45 to go in the second. A shot of Lake Washington here in scenic Seattle. Denver with the football, first down and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Gus Frerotte and a flag on the play. So a false start called against Denver. Looks like the official's microphone is broken.
Or he's got a nervous habit.
So let's take a look at the scoring drive for Mike Holmgren's Seahawks. 9 plays, 81 yards. Ricky Watters with the big run. First and 15. Frerotte steps up, delivers. McCaffrey with the catch, and he gets to the 42. Ed McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey doing a nice job, Gus, coming across, feeling the coverage sink back inside. He stopped, slid back out, put his arm up, allowing Gus Frerotte to throw the ball outside. And here comes the no huddle. Broncos, one of the best teams in the league at running the 2-minute drill.
McCaffrey at a 13-yard game. Here's the handoff, Mike Anderson. Anderson over the right side, gets up to the 45, make it the 46, a flag on the play.
Ouch, and that's what you don't need right here in a 2-minute situation, a hold. And that's what they're going to get.
When you look at games like this, Brent, does it lend any credence to wanting your guys like Terrell Davis at least in uniform on the sideline?
Well, you've got to have your best guys, and Terrell Davis obviously is their best running back, and Mike Shanahan, you know, still has the #2 offense this year without Terrell Davis. Basically, he has played in one and a half games, and that's still phenomenal to have your offense that good, but Terrell Davis really puts them in a different league. He attracts so much attention. Teams have to defend you in such a different way. They really miss him out there. It's just amazing what he can do to a defense.
Well, the 10th rushing offense in the NFL, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 14-3 Seahawks.
It's back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Applebee's You Pick 2. Get any 2 of 4 American favorites on one big plate. Choose from sizzling Cajun sirloin, succulent garlic crusted shrimp, barbecue chicken, or riblets with a tangy sauce too good for any napkin. Right now, you pick 2. For a taste as American as Applebee's. For a tasteful gift, pick Applebee's gift certificates.
Shannon's please, has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby.
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
Want to learn about smarter investing?
How diversified is your portfolio? You can't even spell Dow Jones.
Visit us at schwabwelcome.com, where every investor is welcome.
P/E ratio. You divide the stock price.
Monday.
Hi.
If you're looking for a good babysitter, don't count on the King of Queens.
I got both legs in one hole. I don't know what to do here.
Followed by Monday's new hit comedy, Yes Dear. Then, warning, warning. This episode of Raymond is contagiously funny.
Look at the bloodshot eyes and the droopy cheeks.
That's his regular face.
And Becker bets he can quit smoking. No problem.
Do you realize that there are kids in third world countries who go to bed at night without cigarettes?
Don't miss the funniest night of all new comedy, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Charles Schwab. When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we also created a smarter kind of investor. And by Applebee's, as unique as the Southwest, as American as Applebee's.
Welcome back. Seattle on top 14-3. Ricky Waters, 94 total yards from scrimmage. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones, and you always talk about Ricky Waters. What did he do to make you guys so excitable when you...
Oh, he used to get fired because not just what he said, it's what he did. He'd pound his chest like this. Turn the water on. Turn the water on. Here, well, let me see you do it. Get that arm in. No, you got to hit yourself harder. Be a football player. Come on. Turn the water on.
Turn the water on.
Say it.
Turn the water on.
There you go. Or turn the water on right now.
Broncos have it. 2nd and 12 from the 32 over the middle. Incomplete. Billy Miller could not hold on. Denver still, though, with 3 timeouts remaining. 1:55 to go here in the first half of play. Mike Shanahan looked frustrated on the sideline. This high-powered offense has been kind of derailed.
Well, he doesn't get excited about guys dropping balls and right between the numbers there. Billy Miller going to have some explaining to do. And very similar to San Diego last week. Looked terrible in the first half.
3rd down and 12 from the 32. Farrat underneath, caught by Rod Smith. 1st down, he gets a block. And Smith lowers his shoulder and gets to the 43-yard line of Seattle. And he is also out of bounds.
And one thing that you saw right there with Rod Smith catching the ball that you don't see a lot around the league, Ed McCaffrey, the minute Rod Smith caught that ball, stopped his route and came back. You're going to see him come into the picture right here at the very end. He's coming back to try to get a block right there. That's what this Broncos receiving tandem does better than any tandem in the league. Minnesota, anybody, they block for each other downfield. That's why they get big plays.
Now Chris Cole lines up in the backfield, splits out into the slot. Gus Farrat underneath, intended for McCaffrey, incomplete. Covering number 27, Willie Williams. And Rod Smith so far, folks, in the first half, 4 catches, 82 yards. He's on his way to his 8th 100-yard game of the season.
And he's got some big yards, but this Bronco offense just doesn't seem like it's in sync. They've been bits and pieces here and there, but they haven't been able to put together a whole lot of drives. And they're trying to balance that run game with the passing game, but it might turn into just an all-passing game here in the second half like they had to last week versus the Chargers.
Farrat down the middle, it's caught. Desmond Clark still running. What a play! What a great individual effort by Desmond Clark, a 43-yard touchdown. And the tight ends continue to make plays for the Broncos.
And Desmond Clark made that touchdown on a little head move he made outside. Brought the defender on the outside. You're going to see him sneak back into your screen. You don't see the move from this angle, but you'll see it. Giving Gus Farrat a great target, plus being able to bust through a couple of tackles, and Desmond Clark making something happen as part of that 3-headed tight end for this Denver Bronco team.
Jason Elam in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. So with 1:36 to go in the second, Desmond Clark makes it a 14-10 game. And the Broncos are fired up.
On December 8th.
Up there, you're not dying. You're dead.
The most powerful force on Earth.
I won't let my sister die.
Is the will to survive. Vertical Limit, rated PG-13, opens everywhere December 8th.
Unforgettable. That's what you are. Unforgettable. Though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me.
Are you following PHRM?
Get your clients into PHRM.
Clinical testing through the roof.
There has been a discovery. We'll be announcing it soon.
I hope this works.
Me too.
See the story behind the numbers. Go to cbs.marketwatch.com.
Tuesday on 60 Minutes 2. Not since the gold rush has this kind of treasure showed up. The buried riches of a place called Treasure Island. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central.
Coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, join Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, and Jared Glanville for all the scores and highlights, plus the latest NFL news. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. 14-10, Seattle holding on to the lead, and they will have the football. This is Charlie Rogers. And Rogers gets over the 25-yard line and the 26-yard line. Rieger with the tackle, an 18-yard return.
And Gus, it's the little things that make you successful in the National Football League, like a little head bob. Watch right here, Desmond Clark going against Chris Canty, little head outside and look, and you're going to see him go right down the middle. While Canty's out here thinking he's in the flat. Watch this move. Right at about 7 or 8 yards, you see a little out twist, and you see comes back into the middle. Nobody covering, doing a great individual effort right there, running through the Seattle Seahawks safeties. Try saying that 3 times real fast.
And look at the scoring drive. Clark played quarterback as a junior and senior in high school. He's a prolific passer and a runner. And you could see him really run that football on the touchdown catch. So Ricky Waters running. And a timeout on the field called by the Denver Broncos. 1:20 to go. 14-10.
Never once did your car ask you for jewelry or flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Your car always gives you exactly what you want. Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
Coming down in buckets here at Husky Stadium, but Jim Nantz and company will get you out of the rain at halftime. So it's the NASDAQ.com halftime report. 2nd down and 7. The Seahawks get close to the 1st down as Sean Dawkins. And the timeouts remaining 2 apiece.
And I guess, Gus, I think both these offenses should go after the opposing defenses. We've seen already today, both defenses have done this all year. They've been prone to giving up the big play. If there's time on the clock, go for it. The Seahawks here, it looks like they're just willing to go in at halftime 14-10. They got the lead, don't want to make any mistakes, but against a defense that has missed tackles and given up big plays, I don't know, maybe go ahead and take the shot.
3rd down and 1. Out of the backfield, caught by Strong. And Strong gets out of bounds with the 1st down, and the clock stops.
I guess you got to get down to probably about the 35-yard line for a solid field goal attempt here by Ryan Lindell. He was right about 52, 53 in pregame warmups. Actually talked to him, said he loves the turf, said that's right about where he's feeling good with this rain coming down today.
So they need about between 25 and 28 yards to get into his range.
How about Derek Mays?
Kitna rolling, delivers under pressure. Number 93 chasing Trevor Price. And he is the sack master on that Denver team. And Kavika Pittman, an update for you, an injury update, has a shoulder injury for the Broncos, a sprained right shoulder, and his return is, well, there's Kavika right there.
And you can see him holding that shoulder down, and he's been a big part of this defense this year. And they've got a nickname for him. They call him Yo Play. You know why they call him that?
Why?
Because he makes Yo Play, and Yo Play. And that's what the fellas on the defensive line told us. And they say he's really kind of been an unsung hero on the defensive side, getting a lot of pressure and collapsing the pocket this year.
Quick toss, incomplete. Intended for Darrell Jackson, the rookie out of Florida. And that will bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 45 with 24 seconds to go. Still 2 timeouts apiece.
Now's the time. 24 seconds. Take a couple cracks downfield. You got those timeouts. You can run a deep cross over the middle and still not lose that much time and call the timeout. Get yourself in field goal range. Derek Mays, a big play receiver in crunch time. Give him a shot.
This is Jackson in motion, getting out of the backfield to Ricky Waters. Waters out of bounds. He's short of the 1st down, however. He gets inside Denver territory at the 48-yard line, and there to give chase, Al Wilson. And there's Lindell warming up on the sideline, his career long, 51 yards. However, this season he's 0 for 1 from 50 yards and out, and they will punt it.
And that's the safe thing to do, and it's the smart thing to do. You're playing at home. You got a 4-point lead. Don't take any chances right here.
Jeff Fiegels standing at the 36. Wobbly kick. Delta O'Neal cradles it and swipes it out of bounds. O'Neal knocking it out of bounds at the 14, a 34-yard punt. And that's a pretty smart play.
That's a real heads-up play. If you're going to drop the ball, you know you got your body covered. Watch, he's going to go ahead and muff it right here. Hits the ground, swat it out of bounds. I don't want any Seahawks getting it.
So with 12 seconds remaining, what do you do if you're Mike Shanahan? Do you just take a knee?
Yep. 12 seconds isn't a whole lot of time to take a shot right here. Now you just, with a wet ball, you never know what can happen. But don't be surprised to see him still take a shot. But I think taking a knee, when you see Ed McCaffrey in the backfield, Gus, they're taking a knee.
So Gus Frerotte takes a knee. And that's the end of the 1st half with the score. Seattle 14, Denver 10. Coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, Jim Nance and company will have scores and highlights after this message and a word from your local station.
Tuesday on 60 Minutes 2. Not since the gold rush has this kind of treasure showed up. The buried riches of a place called Treasure Island. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central.
Welcome to New York. Wednesdays on CBS. It's all here.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Super 8. All the room you want.
What? They gave our room away?
Not what you want to hear. Then Super 8's where you want to stay, where VIP members get guaranteed rooms and 10% off. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
I can't stay here another minute.
Not what you need to hear. Then Super 8's where you need to stay, as clean as can be 1,900 times over. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
Inside every car's engine, friction and wear cut scratches in metal surfaces, causing compression and power loss. Restore with CSL fills these scratches and improves the seal between piston rings and cylinder walls, thereby restoring engine power and reducing oil consumption. Independent tests prove that Restore really works to increase and balance compression across all cylinders. If you have an older car or truck with a lot of miles, improve the engine performance with Restore. Satisfaction guaranteed.
I told you this would work.
Good call, Dave. Excellent venue. Who do you think's getting married anywhere?
Guys, someone's coming.
Hi.
How are you doing? Are you here with the bride or the groom?
The groom. Right.
Nice to meet you.
Guys, I think they're on to us.
Hey, I think they're onto us.
Having one on the house? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
You think they're on to us?
Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
All right, everybody, welcome to the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Mike Dick and Jerry Glanville are here as well. Let's run through the early finals. First up, the Browns managed only 5 first downs. Jamal Lewis just ran right over him today.
Well, he ran over him. I tell you, Trent Dilfer threw the ball over top of him. He hit Patrick Johnson on a long touchdown. He moves the ball down the field. He gives them a chance for points on the board. Their defense got mad. After Cleveland scored, they weren't getting in the end zone anymore. Held them to 5 first downs.
Wow.
It's good football. This is a better football team than you think.
I give you that. And you look at their schedule, they could go 12-4.
Absolutely.
Really. All right, Pittsburgh's now 6-6 on the season. Cordell Stewart, 3 touchdown passes, 1 running. His best game in 3 years, Jerry.
Well, I think what the difference in the game here was third down conversions. Cordell Stewart could convert on third down. The Bengals were just awful. But both backs went over 1,000 yards. The Bus and Dillon, 394 yards, almost 400 yards rushing.
That's hard to believe.
Unbelievable.
All right, the Bills' 4-game win streak is over. Tampa Bay beats them. Big performance today by Warwick Dunn. Rushed for over 100 yards first time in 2 years. Bears fall to 3-9. Jets beat them, scoring all of their points in the first half. 2 Testaverde touchdown passes. Rams and Saints now share the lead in the NFC West. Can't believe it, Jerry.
Hey, but the Saints are 5-0 in the West. That's the difference. The Saints are going to win this thing.
Well, they are. I said that before. Before they had the injuries, I had a chance they might run the table. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know what is going to happen. But they get after you now. Their defense is getting after people. They had Trent Green back on his heels all day, and he couldn't be effective.
Hey, Coach, what about Aaron Brooks, the new quarterback?
Wow. Outstanding game. Outstanding.
Did a tremendous job.
Redskins fall to the Eagles as Donovan McNabb rushes for over 120 yards, most yards rushing by a quarterback since Jack Concannon back in 1966. Eagles lead the NFC East. We'll be right back.
In 1 month, she lost her husband and her home. Now she'll fight to regain her faith.
I will not be pushed aside.
Della Reese, The Moving of Sophia Miles, tonight.
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
He was waiting for me. He knows.
You got a box big enough to hold $500,000 for killing my wife.
Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
A Perfect Murder Network premiere CBS Wednesday.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
Jim Nance with you on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Mike Ditka, Jerry Glanville, are you ready?
Yes!
All right, here we go. Early today, the Ravens rode the running back, Jamal Lewis, for 170 yards. But look at Trent Dilfer.
Well, this is what he gives them, Jim. He gives them that deep pass, deep, long pass to Patrick Johnson here for a touchdown. And he's seeing a lot of the field, but they're winning with defense.
Ravens are 9-4. Look at the pathetic effort by Akili Smith of the Bengals.
Well, he's got to try to get up here and make the tackle. Anybody can make a bad play, but you got to spill your guts to try to correct it. Woo!
Hamilton runs it in. Steelers now back to 6-6. Warwick Dunn ran it in. Bucks over the Bills.
Warren, you made those inflammatory comments about your offensive coordinator. It very easily could have blown up on you. Why didn't it today?
Because I knew what kind of ball club I had. I told you all the way from the earlier this week, I knew the pulse of my team. And when I walked in that locker room on Saturday morning, everybody looked at me, heads were up, and we were ready to come to this ball game and get us a win that we had to have to put ourselves in a chance to run the table.
Sap with our Bonnie Bernstein. Coach Ditka, how did the Jets win today?
Well, they won very easily because really the Bears had no offense until the second half. Picked it up and got 10 points, but here Testaverde hits Anderson for a touchdown, and that's about all they needed. 17 points in the game.
Jets are 8-4. So are the Saints and Rams, tied for the NFC West lead. That's Aaron Brooks up and over for the game winner, and this preserved it right here. Trent Green picked off.
Wide layout, nice interception. Woo! That saves the game, but the whole game, Aaron Brooks playing quarterback for the Saints. Great job today.
Talk about a great job. Donovan McNabb had 125 yards rushing, the most by a quarterback since Jack Concannon in a game for the Eagles, in fact, back in 1966. Eddie Murray could have tied it, though, with 1:20 to go. The 44-year-old missed this 44-yard kick, and Jill Arrington talked with McNabb.
You knew it would be a tough game coming in here. They would play hard. How were you able to beat this hungry Redskins team at home?
Well, I mean, you know, we had a lot of hunger in our minds and our minds and bodies, and we just wanted to come out and sort of prove a point, open up some eyes in this conference because it's a tough conference. We got the Giants and the Redskins to battle with, and we can come out and battle against them. We think we can win.
We're back in a moment.
CBS Monday. These attorneys are after a war criminal.
Cornelius beat me, hung by my thumbs.
But did this man torture and kill millions?
It was over 25 years ago.
See how far one law firm will go to prove his identity.
If you do this, I will never forgive you.
Sonia Braga guests on Family Law, CBS Monday.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is Tony Gonzalez, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He supports the United Way by preparing meals at a local community center. Tony has good hands. The kitchen staff knows this.
Heads up.
T-bone. Sorry.
Tony Gonzalez. On the football field, he has good hands.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right. The only one for me is you, and you for me.
So happy together.
I will not do it. To the greatest fans, thanks to all the fans out there.
Thanks for being there when we needed you most.
Thanks for coming out, and we'll keep showing up for you. Thanks for your support. Love you. Mwah.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
All right, for those of you enjoying that Denver-Seattle game, we welcome you back to the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Again, Mike and Jerry alongside, and Sinclair with the fumble return right now. The difference in this game, Mike.
And that's all there is. I mean, really, it's a pretty evenly fought game, and you got a big play in there where he gets hit. Sinclair, and I tell you what, now Sinclair can run. This guy's no slow chicken now. And Frott's got to learn to protect the ball. You know, he turned it over 4 times last week. He just can't do that and win football games. Their defense isn't good enough to carry him, Jim.
And look at it. It's going to take him a while to get there, but he's going to find the promised land, and Seattle leads 14-10 at halftime. Elsewhere, active scores. Indianapolis, an early touchdown. It's held up so far. Dolphins only 69 total yards. Here it is, Jerry. Manning to Harrison.
And that's on the very first drive, the very first series. They haven't scored since.
All right, again, the Dolphins with Heward at quarterback, unable to really get anything going. Meanwhile, Titans and Jags are into the third quarter. Titans with Eddie George getting a touchdown. The Jags, Fred Taylor from Brunel right here.
And he hits them across in the middle. I mean, they really missed Freddie Taylor early in the year, and they got him back, and he's the answer to what they need on offense.
He's a little bit better with that knee brace off, too, Coach.
Yeah.
Jags are starting to look like the Jags of '99, don't you think?
Absolutely.
All right. Meanwhile, Atlanta taking on Oakland, and the Raiders are up big here. Wheatley with a touchdown run, Crockett with a touchdown run, and Tim Brown, 28-yard touchdown catch from Rich Gannon.
But when you get Ty, Wheatley run. He's something. He brought that temperament about the third play of the game. He started to fight with a defensive linebacker, and he's been the tough guy.
But I tell you also, what Rich Gannon brings to that football team, he brings great leadership. I think he kind of he follows the coach the way the coach coaches, but I think what he does, he gives him a chance on every play. If the guy's not open, he's going to make yardage running.
Well, if you look at a third down as being a chance like a turnover, then he turns that ball over. He gets another series for it.
And you made the comment watching this game, we'll be at the AFC Championship game, and you think we'll be in Oakland. All right, Kansas City and San Diego. And the Chargers with 2 touchdown passes from Ryan Leaf. Another good performance by Leaf today. Look at this one right here to Freddie Jones.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We talked about it earlier today. There's nothing matter with this guy's arm. If his head's screwed on right, he can play with anybody. He threw 2 great touchdown passes in this game.
I think he may be what I call a 2-staff quarterback. 2 staffs will get fired, and then he'll go play real good.
His second touchdown pass also went to Freddie Jones. Second half coming up from Seattle. Thanks for being with us on the NASDAQ.com halftime report.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium. The Seahawks lead the Broncos 14-10 And let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half of play. Plenty of them.
Well, they're turning the water on here in Seattle. Watch Ricky Waters, who will cut back, give the safeties a little head and shoulders, come back across field, picks up an extra 20, 25 yards. Big time play. Coming back, following his line inside the 1, bounce it in, good forward lean by Ricky. Not even celebrating, he's still tired from running all those yards. Gus Frerotte coming back on the seam route right before halftime. Desmond Clark, Seattle Seahawks secondary, not tackling well. Big play lets Denver back in the game right here before the half.
So Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. I was thinking, you know, in Seattle they call rainfall liquid sunshine. So if they're turning the water on with Ricky Waters, he could be called liquid sunshine.
Well, he's shining bright in the first half. How about that?
No question about it. Your impressions of that first half?
Well, you know, it's funny because you look at the stats and you see the Broncos over 250 yards in the first half, controlling the clock as well, still down on the score. They came out flat. They had a couple big plays against them. The Gus Frerotte, the fumble where Sinclair picked up the ball and went all the way, then letting Ricky Waters, you know, run right through the middle of your defense, and that really makes it tough. So there's just a couple plays, but a couple plays can make you look really bad. Let's go to those numbers. Check it out. You see, look at 253 yards for the Broncos and the time of possession. These are the key stats, except the real key is points off turnovers. The Seattle Seahawks making the big play, and that is really the key. And so sometimes all these yards, all these stats, all this time of possession don't mean a lot if it doesn't translate into points.
And after about 20 straight days without rain, it's really coming down here in the Pacific Northwest.
And, you know, that might go ahead and affect what the Broncos want to do here in the second half, throwing the ball. If it continues to rain that hard, you've seen a few drops already. Ball slip through the hands of both receivers. And so whoever established that running game and gets that line working here in the second half is going to be feeling pretty confident.
There's a perfect look. Let's take a look at some bullet points from around the league. A lot going on today. Pittsburgh defeats Cincinnati. Cordell Stewart with a good game. Jamal Lewis, the rookie tailback for Baltimore, sets a single season club record as he rushed for 170. Had one, I believe, 80 last week as the Ravens dismantled Cleveland. And the Jets over Chicago. Vinny Testaverde with a nice game. And the Saints. How about the Saints, Brent? They win without their starting quarterback and without their starting tailback and are now in first place with St. Louis in the NFC West.
And Gus, those two teams play each other the last week of the regular season, probably for the title in the NFC West. And who would have ever predicted that? And you got to give Jim Haslett some serious consideration for Coach of the Year.
So we are ready to begin the second half of play. The Broncos will receive the football. And what should we look forward to seeing from this Denver team and your former coach early on here in this second half?
Well, I think you saw the Seattle Seahawks secondary having trouble tackling Desmond Clark right before the half. Give your team more chances, make more throws down the field, and let's exploit the Seattle secondary. They haven't been one of the best around the league. For the Broncos as well, Gus, you're going to probably see some more Mike Anderson. This offensive line for the Denver Broncos, the best in the league. They want to continue to try to establish the run as well, so they want to have some balance. You're going to see from both these teams some more rollouts. We haven't seen a whole lot of bootleg action today. Both of these coaches love running that. Both the quarterbacks are very adept at being able to run that. You're going to see some of that in the second half.
So the second half underway in Seattle. Douglas O'Neill at the 6-yard line. And he gets over the 20 up to the 22-yard line. And here comes Gus Frerotte. And Frerotte in that first half of play, 11 of 19, 192 yards. He threw the touchdown to Clark. And when you talk about Gus and him auditioning this season with Brian Griese out, tell us what kind of teams or what teams would be looking for a guy like Gus Frerotte.
Well, I think there's a lot of teams. You look around the league, teams that have had trouble with their quarterback situation. San Diego, obviously number one. Trent Dilfer stepped in for Baltimore in the last few weeks and has won some games. Maybe he'll be the guy, but up until these last few weeks, they were looking for one as well. There's several other teams. You know, is Jake Plummer the guy in Arizona? I don't know. Sure hasn't proven it lately. And you can just keep going down the list. There's a lot of teams. There's more teams that are looking for quarterbacks, Gus, around the league than have them.
Meanwhile, Cortez Kennedy knocks that pass down, and Gus talked to us about some of the trials and tribulations that he went through playing in Washington, and he looks around the league and he talks about guys like Rich Gannon who've been able to go to other teams and have new careers. Trent Dilfer, Steve Berline, and he's looking forward to possibly doing that next season. Mike Anderson over the left side, and I guess this is the infamous play for Gus Frerotte that really turned his career around negatively. We hate to show it, but we have to do our jobs against the Giants, and watch at the end of the play when he headbutts the wall. You can see it.
Pretty fired up, throws the ball and does the old headbutt shot there. You see him careen off the wall, and he was actually pretty open about it. I respected him yesterday. He laughed about it and said, hey, I don't want to be known as the headbutt guy for the rest of my career, and one day have my kids say, hey, yeah, you're the headbutt guy. And with that arm and some of the things that he's done, especially this last week, I don't think he's going to be known for it for much longer.
Incomplete, though, intended for Smith on 3rd down and 7, so the Broncos come up empty on their first possession of the second half of play.
Little miscommunication out there. Rod Smith going outside and Gus Frerotte throwing the ball up, and they're just at a sink right off the bat. And that's what the Seattle Seahawks defense has tried to do today, is confuse this Denver Bronco offense and frustrate them. And other than a big play or two here, they've been able to do that.
And this is only the second game at home for the Seahawks in which they've played in the rain. So many years in the dome, didn't have to worry about the elements. They're 1-0 at home in the rain. So Ruin sends away a wobbly kick at the 32-yard line. Charlie Rogers. And Rogers makes something out of nothing and gets to the 40. And you like this turf they're playing on. Flubber turf is what it's called. Terrell Davis would love to be out there, we think.
What?
Log on now for Southwest Airlines $99 or less internet specials, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best.
And right now, save up to 50% at our holiday sale.
MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
Volkswagen owners really love their cars. And right now, we're offering some great deals to help spread the love around.
I'm okay.
Tuesday on 60 Minutes 2. Not since the gold rush has this kind of treasure showed up. The buried riches of a place called Treasure Island. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Husky Stadium, Seattle, Washington. The Broncos and Seahawks playing, with the Seahawks leading at 14-10. John Kitna in at quarterback for the injured. Brock Hewart goes to the sideline and is caught. And out of bounds is Sean Dawkins. So the Broncos, this is a very important game for them. The AFC wildcard picture, remember, 3 teams will advance with wildcard spots at 7-4. Buffalo losing earlier today to Tampa. Pittsburgh a winner.
And I'll eat your hat if this team gets in it. I'm crossing them off right now. There's just no way. We had them last week. I don't think that they're going to be able to hang with the tiebreakers or make it down the stretch. And so it'll be Denver and those AFC East teams. I think it's going to be a stretch for Pittsburgh to make it as well. They could be a spoiler.
Kansas City having some problems with San Diego today. Ryan Leaf off to a good start. He's thrown 2 touchdowns already. And Miami now in front of Indianapolis. Tennessee trailing Jacksonville.
You're so smug when you say Ryan Leaf. You like that guy.
I do like him.
You think he's a good quarterback. I think that there's a possibility that he could return home to the state of Washington and play for the Seahawks next year. Outside possibility.
We got to talk about that.
Well, it's just a hunch.
Over the middle, Ricky Waters gets to the 46. Now, why would you say that, Brent?
Well, obviously, the Seahawks, John Kitna has been solid but not spectacular. Brock Heward, I know Mike Holmgren wanted to see in these last 4 or 5 games. I think that one of the situations that they're going to have to go ahead and look at is quarterback. And Ryan Leaf's a guy with a lot of potential, doesn't have it upstairs. He needs some support. Come home, Washington, state of Washington, maybe get some more support here. What do you have to lose if you're the Seahawks? Because I don't think there's any ways to be back in San Diego.
Kitna on the slant, caught. Nice catch, a fumble, and it's recovered by the Broncos. Denver has it. Jackson fumbled the ball, and the Broncos force a turnover. Eric Brown jumping on it.
John Kitna putting it right on the money. Deep slant to Jackson coming across the middle. You know you're going to get hit. Got to protect that ball. Eric Brown jumping on it right now.
Deltha O'Neal with another big play.
Scientists announced today the discovery of a new element. They're calling it turbonium.
El turbonio es único.
The addition of turbonium to the periodic table of elements its electrons traveling at a rate of speed.
En la física cuántica.
But practical applications are still. Turbonium. Back to you, John.
What do we want this year? A JPEG of the grandkids would be nice.
I want to be a cyber cowboy.
I want to check out a chat room.
I'm a nut for email.
I want to buy my lingerie online.
Me too.
I want to know what is hip.
This year, give your parents the gift they really want. An easy way to stay in touch right from their TV. Web TV from Microsoft. Look for our holiday offer.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Volkswagen, on the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Nike Shocks, being thoroughly experienced and explained on Nike.com.
12-11 to go in the third quarter. Seattle with the 14-10 lead. Denver with the ball at their own 23, first down. Gus Frerotte over the middle, and it's Clark. And Clark gets over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Simmons and Kuntz in on the tackle.
And Gus, let's go back to Darrell Jackson fumble. Watch him carrying the ball, transferring it from side to side. Look like Deion Sanders used to do. 2 hands, one side, the other side. Tuck it and put it away on one side. That allows Deltha O'Neal to come in, get his hand on the ball. And the ball's out. Sheldon Jackson's made some big plays as a rookie wide receiver this year for the Seahawks. But ball security is so important.
Darrell Jackson, I think you meant. Here's Mike Anderson over the left side. And Anderson still running hard, gets over the 35 to the 36-yard line. So Mike Anderson started the season, the rookie, as the third back. Landis Gary, Terrell Davis ahead of him. Davis gets injured. Landis Gary blows out his knee, and all of a sudden he's in starting spot today. 14 carries, 53 yards.
Making a little bit of run at the Rookie of the Year, huh?
Yeah, he should get some consideration.
I think you're right.
1st and 10 from the 36. Anderson, the single setback, McCaffrey in motion. Play action. Farad on the roll. Throwing on the run. Nice catch. Nice toss out of bounds. Clark once again. And every time this Denver team, Brent, starts to get it going offensively, they are hitting those tight ends.
And they are, and they're running that bootleg, and we didn't see a whole lot of shots. When you run this bootleg, this tight end's going to hit and come out here in the flat. You're going to have the opposite tight end coming across. Gives you a two-level read. Watch the play fake. Get the defense going this way, then bring everybody across. You see Clark coming across right there. Gus Frerotte putting it right on the money. Big time play. That bootleg's a big part of this West Coast offense.
First down and 10 from the 39. Draw play, Anderson, and Michael Sinclair gets to him first. And look at the numbers on the tight ends today.
And we talked about, could they replace Shannon Sharp at the beginning of the year? And they're looking sharp. Darn right they are. Look at those totals. 80 receptions coming into today's game. 853 yards, 5 touchdowns. That would lead the league if it was one guy. And they've made an even bigger impact in today's game. So that three-headed monster that they call the Denver tight end is really making an impact this year.
Clark, 3 catches, 73 yards. Anderson, the hesitation step through the hole, and he crawls to the 25. Never hesitating in New York, our Jim Nance.
Well, I tell you, one guy I'd like to hesitate is Ryan Leaf. He'd like to think twice about this pass picked off by Patton of the Chiefs, who runs it in. Chiefs don't go for the tying two. They kick the PAT. They're down 1, third quarter. Let's go back to Gus.
All right, Jim. Now to get back to your point, you think Mike Holmgren could turn around a guy like Ryan Leaf? Has he ever done it before?
I think, yeah. A guy by the name of Brett Favre, who our own Jerry Glanville had. But, hey, he came to Green Bay, and they made him into a player. Very undisciplined early on.
Jim Nance has more for us. Let's head back to New York.
All right, Miami and Indianapolis and the Dolphins have taken the lead on this run by Johnson right up the middle. Indianapolis, nothing going offensively since an early strike to Harrison. Let's go back to you.
8:43 to go in the third quarter of play. Seattle leads Denver 14-10. The Broncos, Gus Frerotte, third starting quarterback this season, at the career game last week, faced with the 2nd and 13. From the Seattle 31-yard line. Frerotte on the short drop underneath, and McCaffrey can't make the catch, but a flag on the play. Sean Springs.
And then usually in that type of a bang-bang play, it's Sean Springs. There'd be the defensive back grabbing the opposite arm.
Pass interference, 24, defense, automatic first down.
Let's go to the replay and see if he's grabbing arm. Mike Holmgren looking for the replay. They're engaged right there. And you saw Springs, and you got 5 yards.
And Frerotte on the release.
Oh. Boy, that can break a finger. And he's looking for the flag.
And that was the first penalty today against the Seahawks. 1st and 10. Anderson running, and he almost bounced it outside, tracked down though by Riddick Parker. See what some of your favorite players like Jerome Bettis or Javon Curse rather, or Junior Seau and more had to say in their NFL.com diaries. It's all at NFL.com. 7:57 and counting. Mike Shanahan pacing the sidelines. His team threatening right here with an opportunity to take the lead with a touchdown. 2nd and 7 from the 23. Out of the offset eye. Frerotte rolls again. Looks, steps up. He's got room. And a blocker slides down inside the 15. Gus Frerotte. And a little skirmish there.
And that's Tom Nalen, the center, going to protect his quarterback, Chad Brown. Looked like when we had a late hit, when that quarterback slides, you got to let him go. Watch the end of the play. No flag. Gus Frerotte looking, receivers covered downfield. Here he comes. Now when he slides, watch Chad Brown. See if he comes in late with the helmet. He slid, and that should be a penalty. You can't hit that quarterback at that point. He's down. And here comes big 66, Tom Nalen, saying, hey, stay off my quarterback.
1st and 10 from the 15 over the right side. Anderson breaks it free. Touchdown. Mike Mike Anderson. A 15-yard touchdown. And the Broncos take a 16-14 lead.
And watch the right side of this Denver Bronco offensive line. Lepsis, Neal, Carswell, big hole. Watch Howard Griffith lead it through. There's nobody to block. There he's getting a block downfield inside the 4-yard line.
Elam with the extra point, and once again, Denver running backs and tight ends are breaking the tackles of the safeties of the Seattle Seahawks. This time it's Mike Anderson.
Your husband isn't dead. He's alive. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he gets home safe.
What happens now?
This is a game. For you, it's emotional. For the people holding Peter, it's a business.
Peter's not a game.
I have to get back to my wife. If I stay here, I'm going to die.
You told me my husband was coming home.
I told you you'd have to trust me, and you said you could. So we're on it. Absolutely.
Proof of Life. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 8th.
No two eyes see the same world. No two businesses are identical. And now, one company creates internet solutions unique to you.
Fujitsu. The possibilities are infinite.
When two smart cyber titans from Ask Jeeves got Norelco Quadra actions from their girlfriends, we expected a smart response.
I'll have 5 o'clock shadow by noon.
But the girls insisted. Slots for longer hair and holes for stubble were definitely the way to go.
It's only been a few days, but I'm liking it.
They loved how easy it was to clean, and no one could escape their enthusiasm.
I love this thing. Nice and smooth. Here, give it a feel.
The Quadra action has satisfied 99% of the guys who tried it. For more info, ask Jeeves. Norelco, put it to the test.
So what'd he say?
Nobody! Nobody! Nobody!
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
Mike Anderson, 19 carries, 79 yards, gets his first touchdown of the day. And take a look at the drive, 9 plays, 77 yards, and he popped it through for 15 yards. Broncos up 17-14. Rodgers inside the 20, breaks it free, gets outside, and Rodgers, terrific return inside Denver territory. A 35-yard run. So with 6:47 to go in the third quarter, we've got a game here in Seattle.
Samsung joyfully introduces the world as you make it, where our digital technology has one job: to make life more fun. We want to thrill you, connect you, charm you, satisfy you, and delight you.
Everyone's invited
To the Samsung Digital Experience.
What are you doing?
Get your own Volkswagen. With the great deals we're offering right now, it's never been easier.
She will always remember Christmas 2000. How is up to you. A diamond is forever.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Samsung. Welcome to the Samsung Digital Experience, where everyone's invited. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
(17-14), Broncos on top of the Seahawks. 6:47 to go, third quarter. First of two meetings between these two teams. Broncos with 328 yards of total offense. Seahawks with 191. Ricky Waters running over the left side, and he gets to the 43-yard line. So an update on Brock Heward, the starting quarterback today for the Seahawks. He has been taken in, and he had the X-rays. The X-rays were negative, but he will not return. Meanwhile, his brother is 14 of 21 for 105 yards starting today for Miami against Indianapolis. And there's the hit by Mobley in the first quarter of play. Second down and 7 from the 44. Kitna. Short drop, the slant, caught. Dawkins sliding. Sean Dawkins came into this game with 42 catches. He's got 4 today.
Doing a nice job as a possession receiver, but one of the problems with the Seahawks offense is they don't have a receiver, a speed blazer type of guy that can scare you going down the field.
They got rid of Joey Galloway.
And they got a first-round pick for that. And you know what? Those first-round picks, the Seahawks record isn't that great. Mike Holmgren talked about building this team just how he wants to. He's going to have a great opportunity this offseason because they've got Dallas' first-round pick, and Dallas lost on Thanksgiving, and they've got a brutal 5 games left. They could lose them all. So I'm looking at a 4-12 Dallas team. That'll put you in the top 7 or 8 picks.
But he also said that he would like to go defensive in the draft this year. Tuesday on CBS. Everyone thinks this admiral is guilty of war crimes. To prove his innocence, he has to go up against the Navy's top brass. Don't miss an all-new episode of JAG Tuesday on CBS. Third down and 1 for the Seahawks from the Denver 36. Out of the eye, Kitna straight ahead and gets the first down. How do you like this? How this Seattle team, Brent, has competed today?
They have competed very well, and I like John Kitna. I think John Kitna is a competitor, and he's been solid this year. It's tough when you've had Derek Mays hurt for a few games, and you don't have that speed receiver. Teams can play 8 and 9 men in the box. They can sit at 12 yards, have the safeties up tight, and it makes it tough because you don't have guys that can run by him. You see him being very efficient today, and this offensive line has done a nice job these last couple weeks of coming together, showing some cohesiveness. And so they're making some progress.
Ricky Waters running. Waters bottled up and taken down. First man to him, Ma'a Tanuvasa, who's having a solid season. Billy Jenkins, the safety, also in on the play.
Let's watch Tanuvasa coming here outside 98, getting inside the block of the tight end and just getting a lot of penetration from the backside. That's a lot of speed. That's a great pursuit angle. Tulamili's got to make that block. You got to cut him down at the knees or at least cut him off. You can't let him just penetrate right now and get to the run on the other side of the field.
Second down 12 on the 37. Kitna fires. Ricky Waters nowhere to go. He's written out of bounds by Jimmy Spencer.
And you know what, Gus? They're going to have an illegal lineman downfield. Actually, that was supposed to be a throwback screen away from Ricky Waters. And there was nobody there. Kitna ended up throwing back to Ricky Waters while the linemen were already downfield.
Jimmy Spencer today replacing Ray Crockett, who has a bad hamstring, is out 4 weeks.
And another guy whose name we haven't called practically all day, Terrell Buckley, one of the best corners in the league. Teams are afraid to throw at him.
Ineligible player on the offense, number 66, illegally downfield. That penalty is declined. Third down.
So Mike Holmgren's team will meet this Denver team on December 10th. So they have one game next week, and then they'll play each other the following week.
The old 2 and 3. Used to hate that as a player because then the guy you go against knows all your moves. They know your plays. You game plan for them once. It's tough to really come up with a real distinctly different game plan the second time.
Kitna incomplete, knocked down at the last moment. A flag on the play though. Spencer. He may have had his hand on the back of the intended receiver.
And I actually think he might have had his hand, Gus, grabbing the receiver's arm right before that ball got there.
Pass interference, 33. Defense, automatic first down.
Derek Mays running down here. He's going to run a deep in route, a dig route. Watch Jimmy Spencer go ahead and grab his arm right here at the very top of the route. You see that grab right there. Grabs it, comes over the top. Looks like he makes a nice defensive play, but he had his left arm on Mays' right arm before that ball came.
First down and 10 from the Broncos 21. And they run it over the left side. Mike Lodish tackling Ricky Waters.
There's Ricky. Let's get him fired up. Let's go. Start pounding your chest.
And Ricky Waters trying to get over 10,000 yards for his career.
Only 48 yards away. Turn the water on, Gus.
Second and 10. Kitna rolls out, throws on the run. Nice catch, Dawkins. Both feet in bounds inside the 10. Nice work by Sean Dawkins.
And you see him isolating on Jimmy Spencer. Let's go with Dawkins' route. Coming off the line straight, coming right out of that 15-yard square out. Ball delivered outside shoulder. Nice, solid, nice throw by John Kitna.
Dawkins, 5 years in Indianapolis, 1 year in New Orleans, played here in Seattle last season. Now Waters straight ahead, and Ricky Waters picks up a couple. What do you run if you're Seattle down in this area, deep in the red zone?
Well, I like that bootleg right down there, and we've seen Denver run it a couple times. We've only seen Seattle run it once today. Let's get that boot going. A little misdirection. Get Ricky Waters. You've been handing it off to him a lot. Come back the other way, and there's Coach Holmgren. Got a whole different list there. He's got play action. He's got receiver routes. He's got runs he likes. He's got Ricky Waters plays. He's got Derek Mays plays. He's got the whole chart right there.
Second down. Kitna rolling into the end zone. Incomplete. Number 82, Darrell Jackson, the rookie, got a hand on it but couldn't hold on.
A nice touch by John Kitna, putting it up there where only Jackson could go ahead and get it. Running a little out and up right here. You see him walk, turn outside, over the outstretched hands of the defensive back.
Wow.
But a big lick right there.
Billy Jenkins.
Billy Jenkins out of
Howard University.
You know it, your alma mater. The only guy that was ever an athlete come out of Howard.
Wait a minute. We had Steve Wilson, who also played with the Broncos. There's Billy, who's going to go to medical school after his career. So 2:26 to go. Third quarter of play. Seattle calls timeout. John Kitna wants to get things straight with his head coach.
My brother's son said he had an idea that'd make us rich.
That funny-looking kid said that.
Said we can use the internet.
The internet? We ain't selling books, we're selling feed, and we already sell to every ranch in the county.
Harlan, you ever been outside the county? Well?
Give me a minute, I'm thinking.
My name's John Woolard. I rescue alligators for a living.
John Woolard is one brave guy.
It's pretty exciting.
But would John Woolard ever insure his car with some kind of cut-rate car insurance?
Cut-rate car insurance? I'm not that brave.
When it comes to car insurance, why take a chance? Be like this State Farm customer and get an agent you can rely on, plus competitive rates.
Go on now.
Bologna? Or bologna with cheese?
Looking for something with some zip?
Bologna or bologna with cheese?
Well, Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich with its fiery blend of pepper and spices satisfies that crave.
That one is...
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Friday,
fugitive Richard Kimball will become the hunter, because sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
You can't kill me!
The fugitive. Then, these investigators don't just solve crimes.
I want prints, I want film, I want everything.
They restore lives.
Evidence only knows one thing, the truth.
CSI After the Fugitive, CBS Friday.
Third down and goal for the Seahawks. Waters in the backfield. Here's Kitna in the end zone. Intercepted! Eric Brown intercepts it in the end zone. And the Broncos dodge a bullet. Wow.
Boy, and you can't take chances down there. If it's not wide open, throw the ball away or run. Got to come away with 3 points, and you're going to watch Eric Brown just sit in his zone, play it just like you're supposed to. There's Deltha O'Neal outside on Mays. There's Eric Brown right in the middle, staying right in his zone, looking for the slant route. When he saw it, got up high, made the catch.
Second turnover of the game for the Seahawks. Eric Brown, third-year man out of Mississippi State this season. Second interception of the year. And the Broncos take over at their own 7. Mike Anderson over the right side. Fumble! Picked up! Touchdown, Chad Brown! Oh, my goodness! What a turn of events.
That's scored 6 the hard way. Holy cow. I did not expect that. And it goes back to you miss Alandis Gary, you miss Terrell Davis, the experience. It's tough. As good as Mike Anderson's done, it's tough to have a rookie in there. He's fumbled a few times. Can't fumble back up that deep.
Extra point is good. Chad Brown.
Snaking in and picking up that ball for a touchdown. Let's watch Mike Anderson following the lead block of Howard Griffith. Mike Sinclair again getting his hand in there. He ran the last one back for a touchdown. This time he strips the ball, lets Chad Brown get a little score. Watch 70 right there, hand on the ball. Anthony Simmons as well. The 2 heroes from the first big return.
So Brown gives the Seahawks a 21-17 lead.
Turning good friends into better ones. Turning new friends into old ones. Turning distant friends into closer ones. Turning leaf.
Mike Shanahan has seen the Seahawks come back 21-17. Seattle sends it away. Deltha O'Neal from the 10. Fumbles again! Loose ball. Seattle has it. Isaiah Kasavinsky with the recovery.
And what's a coach to do? Turnovers on the road will kill you every time. Watch Deltha O'Neal get inside. Get 2 hands on it, Deltha. You're going to get contact. Just hold it there in his left arm. He's done a great job this year. But that's 2 rookies in a row, Gus. Back-to-back fumbles by the rookies. And that's this stretch of the season. Boy, when the rookies see Thanksgiving, they think it's the end of the season. Boy, they hit that college wall. Usually around Thanksgiving time, it's the end of the college season, unless you're playing in a bowl game.
Waters with the run. Remember, Terry with the special teams tackle, backup linebacker. And Seattle has it.
And it is
inside the 35. 3 fumble recoveries today 2 touchdowns.
And turnovers will kill you on the road. The Broncos had all the interceptions last week, had to fight back just to stay in the game. And what an unbelievable comeback they had. And it looks like they're going to have to pull that again today.
Kitna on the play fake, looks down the field. Caught. And out of bounds, Dawkins the hard way. Wow.
And how about Dawkins right here, coming across, making the nice catch, getting pushed out of bounds. Then he's turning the water on right there, Gus. Sliding across.
The former Cal Bear, 13-yard gain. And it's really coming down. What a beautiful atmosphere. It's the way football should be played. It looks like Wembley Stadium, a soccer game or something like that.
There you go. Dark, dreary football weather with fake rubber turf. I love it.
Talk about the flubber turf. And they're going to challenge the play.
And they're going to say Dawkins didn't have his second foot in, but he got shoved out by Buckley. And I don't know if they call the force out. You see him grab the ball right there. There's one, and he's getting ready to put the other one down. He got pushed by Buckley. He did not drag the foot or get it down. Got to get 2 feet in. Didn't get the second one, but you saw the push right there by Terrell Buckley. Go ahead and take the shot. And the referee on the field didn't make the call that it was a force out. And since that's a judgment call, Gus, I don't know if you can go back and look at the replay and make a judgment call. I don't think you can do that. So since it wasn't called on the field, force out, I don't know that you can go back, look at the tape, and say it was a force out. So they'd have to go back and say he didn't get his second foot in.
This is what they're looking at.
The first foot was down, but you can't replay a judgment call. And that was clearly 1 foot in. And he could have easily called the force out with Buckley pushing him, but I did not see the referee make that indication along the sideline.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the second foot was out of bounds. The ruling on the field is incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Denver is not charged with the timeout.
So the play has been reversed, and the Seattle Seahawks will have it 3rd down and long.
And you've got to get that second foot down or have the force out. You see Buckley right there with the push out of bounds. But when you review a play, you can't go back and review a judgment call. The referee did not judge on the field during the course of the play that he was forced out. So you can't go back and look at the tape and all of a sudden say, oh, and by the way, it was a force out. That's not reviewable.
So 3rd and 10 from the 31. They need to go to the 21 for a first down. Here comes a blitz. Quick strike. The tight end Fourier upended at the 24-yard line by Jimmy Spencer. They'll be about 4 yards short. So here comes the field goal team. Ryan Lindell.
And he was solid during warm-ups. Feels great. He told me he really liked this turf down there. Kind of a mesh rubber sand underneath. A great grade of AstroTurf. It almost feels like grass, Gus. And guys are wearing regular cleats, not chewing it up. He says he gets good lift, feels comfortable kicking.
First attempt of the day, 42-yarder, gets it down. And good. Lindell, a 42-yard field goal with 27 seconds to go in the 3rd, and the Seahawks take a 24-17 lead. And points off turnovers, the biggest statistic. 17 Seattle points off turnovers. Off 3 turnovers. And for the Seahawks, it's the first time in the franchise's history they've returned 2 fumbles for touchdowns. Meanwhile, Saturday, CBS Sports presents a primetime special, Ice Wars, USA versus the World. Featured will be some of the greatest skaters to ever grace the ice, including Kristi Yamaguchi and Katarina Witt. Katarina Witt, not only one of the great Olympic champions of all time, she's doing some modeling now.
Great skating knowledge, Gus. Follow the sport intently, I bet.
You got me.
You know it. I've been waiting.
Here's O'Neal at the 2. And chopped down at the 26-yard line. Isaiah Kasavinsky once again on the special teams tackle. A 23-yard return.
Kasavinsky could be a skater. Sounds like a Russian skating name.
It certainly does.
Just throwing out my own.
Yeah. Great knowledge of the sport, Brent.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Gus Frerotte, quarterback here in Denver. And Frerotte now, with a 24-17 deficit, takes over first down and 10 at his own 25. Probably the last play of the third quarter. Here's Frerotte going down the field. Rod Smith thrown behind him, picked off. Springs. It's been a comedy of errors for the Denver Broncos. And Springs has his first interception since September 24th against San Diego.
And you got to wonder if the wet ball is bothering Gus Frerotte. Ball late and behind, and you see the ball ricochet into Springs' chest. Right into his breadbasket, grabs the ball, goes forward. Rod Smith was open by 5 yards initially on a corner route, and you see him just having to wait for that ball, and there's no way with Gus Ferrotte's arm strength that ball came out clean. It had to be a wet ball. It had to slide out of his grip. Ball just kind of hung up there, and Springs made the play.
Fourth turnover. First and 10 from the 37. Kitna over the middle, caught. Gobbled up by Fourier. And that will be the end of the third quarter with the score, Seahawks 24, Broncos 17. We'll return to Seattle after this word from your local station.
All the Elton John songs you know by heart. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime concert event. Elton John, Greatest Hits Live, Friday.
It's all here on CBS.
Shag, Tuesdays on CBS. It's all here.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Miller Lite. Keep going, keep going. We almost had it. No, sorry, guys. Can we get another one, please? Okay, let's do this again. Okay. One more time. Yeah.
This holiday season, Miller Lite wishes you safe and happy Miller times.
Hey, sports fans, enjoy the big game from the best seat in the house. The Game Day Aero Minute Chair from Imaginaire. The portable football fan's chair you can take anywhere with its own patented powerful rechargeable pump that will inflate your portable chair in under 1 minute, deflates in under 30 seconds. Choose from 31 official NFL teams, all with original team colors and logos. The Game Day Aero Minute Chair is wide enough for the biggest fans with 2 built-in cup holders and stabilizer cushions to prevent spills. The Game Day Aero Minute Chair is the perfect seat for the Sunday afternoon game, indoors or out. When the game's over, it stores easily. The Game Day Aero Minute Chair from the makers of Aerobed. Now only 4 easy payments of $19.99 in your choice of 31 NFL teams. Call now and get a matching tote bag free. Don't delay. Order the best seat in the house today.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-923-5544 to order your Game Day Aero Minute Chair or send check or money order for the full amount plus shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Just 4 easy payments of only $19.99. Call now.
The scoring by quarters. Seattle on top 24-17, 10 points in that third quarter of play. And they forced today 4 turnovers. And right now the Hawks have it 2nd and 5 at the Denver 32. Out of the I formation, they hand it to the up man. It's Strong. And he pounds it forward looking for the first down. He'll be close. So Gus Frerotte, Brent, he hasn't been the same since he banged his thumb on the helmet.
And we saw him follow through, smack his thumb, and actually you're going to see him go ahead and hit his hand right there on Parker 97. It looked like his thumb, maybe his forefinger, and it's tough with this gripping situation, Gus, with the wet ball, and maybe he's not being able to get his hands on the laces, his fingers on the laces, but for whatever, the ball hasn't come out as sharp with the type of arm strength that he has the last couple of throws.
Kitna throws, almost intercepted. Number 26, Eric Brown, almost had his second. John Kitna threw that ball late.
Eric Brown coming over, making a big play, turning those hips, almost having the interception, making some big plays today. And Gus, 14 minutes and 18 seconds, and I have a feeling this is going to be a wild and woolly fourth quarter here in Seattle.
So Seattle going for it on 4th down and 1. They're 5 for 9 on 4th downs this season.
Sure, you go for it in this situation. Go ahead and take a shot. Long field goal, go ahead and put it back in there.
Alexander, I don't know. Keith Traylor drags him backwards, and let's see.
And he had that ball leaning out, and it really depends on the spot.
The Broncos say they have it, and they're walking off the field.
And you know what? Yeah, he's going to be 2 feet short. And I thought that was the right call, going for it on 4th down. Alexander hasn't hit it up in there as hard as we would like to have seen a couple times today. You see him shifting side to side, taking a big shot. There's Keith Traylor pulling him back.
Billy Jenkins also.
You're not getting the 1st down. I like the way you keep throwing Billy Jenkins in there every play. Howard guy.
He's always around the
Well,
ball.
he is. One way or another, he's there. There's 2.
And they are way short.
Not even close.
14-10 to go, 4th quarter. Broncos get it back.
$32.75.
I didn't bring my purse.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Did look good on him.
You behave yourself, Angus.
Rear seats that fold down to create over 67 cubic feet of cargo space and an all-too-convenient retractable tray table.
Good dog.
The CR-V from Honda.
Cannonballs, $129 online. 88 hula hoops, $60 online. Elephant shampoo, $42 online. Not having to pay for any weird charges that show up on your bill? Priceless. With MasterCard, you're not responsible for unauthorized purchases on the web or anywhere. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
The pomp, passion, and pride. For over a century, these two teams have been battling it out on the field. The 101st Army-Navy game, next Saturday on CBS.
24-17. Seattle on top of Denver. Last week, the Broncos had to come back against San Diego. In the 4th quarter, they were down 17 points. It looks like they're going to have to do something similar today.
Yeah, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey haven't caught a pass this half. Got to get those guys involved. Little body blow, Ed McCaffrey, boom, boom. Then uppercut, Rod Smith deep to the post. You're going to see him take some shots.
1st down and 10 from the 28 for the Broncos. Mike Anderson over the right side, breaks a tackle. Anderson running hard, and he picks up 10. Meanwhile, here's Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, the Colts was off in such a pivotal game, and Indianapolis has regained control of it. Marvin Harrison's 2nd touchdown catch up the game. Colts lead by 4 with 9:21 remaining. Let's go back to Gus and Brett.
Marvin Harrison been quiet for a couple weeks.
Wow, he certainly has. They sat on him in Green Bay.
Well, they need him to come on strong here against that tough Miami defense.
1st down and 10, 39-yard line. Gus Frerotte throws, and It's knocked down. Sean Springs breaking it up, intended for Rod Smith. Now next Saturday, the Home Depot College football presents one of the most colorful and storied spectacles in all of sports. The Army-Navy game. It's the ultimate showcase of pride, tradition, and symbolism. That's 12 Eastern time on CBS. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Out of the offset eye. McCaffrey in motion. Play action. Over the middle, incomplete. And now, Farrat is throwing almost all of his throws are behind his receivers nowadays.
Well, that time George Kuntz was coming on the blitz and he didn't have time to set his feet. They're running a play called Fox 2 XY hook up the tight end over the middle. Dwayne Carswell wasn't able to come out of his break, set his feet. Kuntz getting good pressure on the quarterback. That was the key. You know, the other thing that you mentioned, Sean Springs, every minute it seems like you're saying his name. Go away from Sean Springs. He's too lethal. He's making things happen. He's on top of his game today. Throw the other side of the field. Go after Willie Williams.
Willie Williams lined up with McCaffrey. Here's Farrat. McCaffrey, nice catch in front of Willie Williams. And it'll be close to a first down. And McCaffrey gets up slowly.
And they gave him some pretty good forward progress. That's why the fans here are booing. And we said, go after Willie Williams. And here's the shot. McCaffrey running the deep route. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. McCaffrey having to come back further than he wanted to. And you see him, he knew that he was not in front of the first down. That's why he tried to get up and get it. And it's going to be very close. I think if they go ahead and are short here, I think the Broncos go on 4th down anyway. But I think they might have it.
And they do. Fans don't like the spot. Ed McCaffrey now, 3 catches, 32 yards. His first catch this half.
And they got to keep throwing it to Ed McCaffrey. He's got 8 inches over Willie Williams down there below on the bottom of the screen. Keep going after him. Use the height advantage. Ed McCaffrey runs great routes in and out of the breaks. You see him line him up down there again at the bottom. Do it again.
McCaffrey 6'5", Williams 5'9". Underneath, caught, fumbled again. And this time the Broncos have it. Well, they call it an incomplete pass.
And they're calling it incomplete.
And Mike Anderson gets up looking at his hands.
And the ultimate warrior, George Kuntz, been around for a while. Making the big hit. And Mike Anderson's dropped the ball a couple times today, and I wouldn't be surprised, Gus, if this was a catch. Let's see Mike Anderson come out of the backfield. I thought he had it. There it is. Turns, takes the shot. Wow, that was close to being a catch.
Rod Smith in the backfield at tailback. They pitch it to him with the block. Smith breaks it. Here comes Smith with the seam. Rod Smith to the corner. Touchdown, Denver. 50 yards.
Wow! That was a big-time run and a huge block by Mike Anderson. Where do you see the block that Mike Anderson set for Rod Smith coming back across the field?
Rod Smith. What a run.
Let's check it off. Ed McCaffrey sealing Sinclair right there. Big Tony Jones out here on Willie Williams. Watch him come across the field. You're going to see Mike Anderson, 38, make the block on the safety right there.
The extra point is good. And with 12:37 to go in the 4th, we're tied at 24.
This is not a photo, it's a digital image. And this is not a photo, it's a computer image. It's not a photo until you print it on jet print photo paper.
So you print this on your inkjet printer?
Whether you get images from a digital camera, scanner, photo CD, or email, Jet Print Photo lets you print studio quality pictures at home. When you can get the look and feel of professional photos, why settle for anything less? Jet Print Photo, how digital photos are finished.
What's going on?
Hey.
Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our 12-inch compound miter saw, the best choice for deck building, remodeling, and finish work. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
What kind of a company are we? We're people like you. Our families are growing. We're buying new homes, enjoying a career, or looking beyond it. Yet, no matter where you are in life, it's important to plan for where you want to be. Talk to a financial advisor at First Union Securities, because the future has a way of arriving before you know it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Honda Civic. Amazing but true. Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Jet Print Photo Paper. Our digital images are finished.
Welcome back to Seattle, where we are tied at 24. The Seahawks and the Broncos. Denver sends it away. Charlie Rogers from the 7. Rogers up to the 25-yard line. And Rod Smith, wow. I don't think he has to worry about going to the Pro Bowl this year.
Well, if he doesn't go, then I'll buy his tickets because he's got to go. Right here, watch that. The new tailback taking the pitch, Rod Smith. Now watch Mike Anderson to the top of the screen, lined up at wide receiver. Watch him come into the picture late. Watch this. Rod Smith sees him right now. He's running for him. There's the big block right here. That's all the plays that you have to make. That's what you do, Gus. That's what's called being in the game. Keeping your motor running, making a play downfield. He stood in front of his guy for 7 or 8 seconds.
First down and 10, and this is Ricky Waters reverses his field and is taken down by Trevor Price.
Well, we said it'd be a wild fourth quarter.
Wow.
We're only 3 minutes into it. It's been pretty wild.
But what did Shanahan see to line Rod Smith in the backfield like that?
You know, I don't know. We saw that early in the first quarter. He took a pitch and made some yards. And I don't know, maybe Rod Smith. And, you know, Rod Smith makes me mad because we asked him yesterday, hey, is there anything special in the game for you? And he kind of smiled. He said no.
Tongue firmly planted in cheek. Here's Kitna rolling out of the pocket, throwing, and nobody even close to the ball.
Seahawks just got away with a big hold right there on the right, and that's what Mike Shanahan's saying. There he is. He said, did you see that hold? That was unbelievable. Floyd Wedderburn with Mobley coming through. Watch the right guard here. He's going to have a huge hold on 51 coming through on the blitz right there. Grabs him and turns him around. And that's what Shanahan was going crazy about right in front of the referee. Didn't see it. 3rd and 10. Kitman Schwebel dumps it. Incomplete. And that's going to be grounding, Gus. That is, there comes the flag. And Mobley's been possessed today. He has been on fire. He's been cracking the seams in the Seattle offensive line. And John Kitna, there's nothing he can do except take the sack or throw it away. No receivers. Not out of the pocket. Grounding.
Knock Brock Heward out of the game
Intentional
early on.
grounding. Number 7 on the offense. This penalty includes a loss of down. It'll be 4th down at the spot of the pass.
Boy, they turned John Mobley loose today. Watch him right here, coming in and getting some pressure right now. There's nobody blocks him, comes right through. Ricky Waters, you see him looking outside first, then inside. He had two guys to block, didn't know which one to take.
So Jeff Beagles, 2 yards deep in his own end zone, sends it away. Low, wobbly kick dealt to O'Neal from the 46. And O'Neal is tackled at the 44-yard line. Nice play, Kerry Joseph. So with 11:35 to go in the 4th, the game is tied at 24 apiece.
It has been completely redesigned, so it is more powerful, safer, quieter and more spacious, with ultra-low emissions and improved fuel economy. Introducing the all-new Civic from Honda. Amazing, but true.
Why can't they park in the garage like everyone else?
That snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings, handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price.
Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No,
But I want to get it for my brother.
get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No. Weeping.
It's okay. We found just someone else.
Oh.
For technology gifts they really want, it's Staples.
They mastered the biology of the immune system and pioneered a revolutionary way to treat disease. By modulating the body's processes, Immunex is meeting some of the great medical challenges of our time. A world leader in biotechnology, Immunex stays at the forefront through a major research and development commitment. Where do you find the companies that are creating the future of medicine? Exactly. NASDAQ, stock market for the digital world.
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
He was waiting for me.
He knows. You got a box big enough to hold $500,000 for killing my wife.
Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
A Perfect Murder network premiere, CBS Wednesday.
24-24, Denver and Seattle, their first meeting of the season. They'll meet again in a couple of weeks in Denver. Right now the Broncos have it 1st and 10 from the 46. And hand it off Mike Anderson over the left side. He picks up about 3. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS gets right into the thick of the playoff races with doubleheader action. First, Dave Wanstadt's Miami Dolphins battle Rob Johnson and the Buffalo Bills, while the Broncos take on the Saints, or the Seahawks battle the Falcon. Then Peyton Manning sparks the Colts against Vinny and the Jets. Check local listings beginning with Jim Nance and company on the NFL Today.
That is a big-time lineup for next week. I meant the games, not those ugly-looking guys in the studio.
2nd down and 7. Here's a toss. Rod Smith again in the backfield. And Smith again with the hole. Rod Smith today looks like a tailback.
Maybe he is their new tailback.
Wow. Look at the acceleration by Smith.
Taking the pitch, this time going to their right. Having the Denver offensive line set up the blocks for him. You see Lepsis, Neal making big blocks downfield. Rod Smith seeing the whole field. You've seen him cut back a couple times today. Look at that. Sees the hole, gets up into it, sets his feet, bounces back. Thinks he's Terrell Davis.
Rod Smith has 3 rushes for 78 yards. Here's the play action. Farrat in trouble. Nice catch on the sideline. It's Dwayne Carswell, number 89, at the 20. Farrat heads-up job to get rid of that ball.
Yeah, if they had Farrat's jersey and he was getting ready to go down, made the throw, Carswell got up and made the big-time catch. And here's Sean Springs almost with the sack. You see him holding onto his ankle. Farrat going down. Nice grab, getting up high. Dwayne Carswell.
He's out of the play. 1st down.
And I couldn't hear the referee's mic, but it sounded like illegal hands of the face. Defense declined. Broncos taking the play.
Shanahan on the sideline, and he's really done a good job getting Rod Smith into the game. As I mentioned, Smith 3 rushes for 78 yards. He also has 4 catches for 82. This is Mike Anderson over the right side, and he's downed inside the 20. Now, for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you are watching the National Football League on CBS in the game between the Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks. I'm Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, and the score is tied at 24. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. 2nd down and 9 from the 19-yard line for the Broncos. Anderson once again following his blocks, and he gets to the 12. And this is what this game is all about. Let's take a look at the big picture for the Broncos. They are trying to get into the playoffs. They're 2 games behind the Oakland Raiders, 7-4 right now in the wild card race. Remember, 3 teams get in.
And you know they've got that win over the Jets head-to-head. They've got 2 wins over the Raiders. If they ended up tied with the Raiders at the end of the season, they would have the AFC West. Gus, coming in today's game, I think there were 7 teams that were 7-4. Broncos closing out have the 5th toughest schedule out of those 7 teams, so the favorable schedule down the line.
Denver timeout.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like a dozen mixed.
I highly recommend the cream-filled. 5 stars.
Well, now, if you like the cream-filled, you should try the eclairs, popular in France.
By the way, customers who bought eclairs also bought raspberry jelly donuts and bear claws.
Can I interest you in a book on donuts?
Amazon.com changed the way people shop.
I suppose you want these individually gift wrapped?
HP technology makes it happen.
In my day, we only had glazed.
It's knowing unprecedented opportunities exist overseas. It's using a proven growth process driven by first-hand research. It's discovering companies with exceptional promise anywhere in the world. The American Century International Growth Fund. It's what we call American exploration. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
So I can order HBO, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, 7 of them.
So it's got a pretty clear picture then?
100% digital quality.
Football?
Up to 13 NFL games every Sunday if you want them.
I love you.
I know, sir.
Now get free professional installation when you buy a DirecTV system and sign up for Total Choice programming.
Hi.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hewlett-Packard, inventing new ways to live and work. And by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
Just a reminder, 60 Minutes will be seen next in its entirety, except for those of you in the Pacific and Mountain time zones, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Mike Anderson has his 4th 100-yard game of the season, 24 carries for 102 yards. Rod Smith goes in motion out of the backfield. Empty backfield. Farrat straight ahead, and he picks up the 1st down at the 10.
And we've seen that happen a couple times today. Only one man over the center, get that single block, no linebacker up inside. If they give it to you, go ahead and take it.
And they will measure. Gus Farrat, his dad back in Pennsylvania watching the game. Gus, and he told us that his dad is a trooper. He loves to have the support from his family, his brother and sister, and especially his father, who is a battler in his own right.
Darn right. And his dad, Gus Sr., right now, Big Gus, pretty fired up about that 1st down. Had a heart transplant 3 years ago. Gus doesn't want him to get too excited during the games, but he says, hey, he's an old coach, and he gets into it. He gets pretty fired up, and just glad that his dad's around to see him experience a lot of this success.
Right now, Gus Sr., the young fella's doing pretty well. He has his team in great position. 1st and 10 from the 11. Here's a handoff. Mike Anderson running hard. And Anderson stopped by Riddick Parker. Mike Anderson's another tough guy. We talked about his Marine background.
And what a great story. Just coming out, playing for the Marine team. Wasn't thinking about playing football and just had so much ability out there. And he spent some time over in Somalia. Remember that?
Yeah,
talked
part of the
about
peacekeeping troops there.
Just a phenomenal story. Had an outstanding year for a rookie this year.
So It's Anderson over the left side, and he dives forward, gets to the 6. Anderson is over 100 yards, as we mentioned. And under Mike Shanahan, when the Broncos have a 100-yard rusher, they are 36-5 in regular season games, 4-0 this season.
And the only thing that offsets that great yardage by Mike Anderson today are all those turnovers. And Seattle Seahawks points off the turnovers. That gives the coach gray hair. You see, Mike doesn't have a whole lot of gray hair yet. He could have a few coming through if this game doesn't end up with the Broncos winning.
Rod Smith lines up as the tailback. 3rd down and 5 from the 6. Farad throws the fade. It's intercepted. Willie Williams. Five turnovers today for the Denver Broncos.
And Willie Williams made this play at the line of scrimmage on the bump that he gave Ed McCaffrey. Gus Farad has confidence in his big wide receiver that he's going to get off the bump and be the guy to get up and make the play, but he didn't get off. Willie Williams came up and jammed him at the line. Farad just throws it up thinking Ed got that 8-inch size advantage. He's going to get up and get it. And no, because he got stoned at the line. And look at that, Willie Williams giving up a souvenir.
Very nice. Seattle takes over at their own 20. And they run it on 1st down. Now the clock's starting to tick down even further. 24-24. 6:20 to go. And Seattle's defense has saved the Seahawks time and time again this afternoon. Look at that. 5 takeaways, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 of them touchdowns, and they also have 2 interceptions. 2nd down and 10. Kitna. Intercepted! Spencer! Touchdown Denver! Unbelievable! 21-yard touchdown! And the Broncos take the lead. And Spencer jumped that route.
He looked like the primary receiver on that route, and it just continues to amaze here in the 4th quarter. Both these defense stepping up and making some big-time plays. And what a roundabout way of scoring again. We saw it with the shoe on the other foot here a quarter ago.
Jason Elam comes in to attempt the extra point. It's good. The Broncos take a 30-31-24 lead.
And let's go back. Let's check this out. Jimmy Spencer driving on the ball from outside in. Watching John Kitna's eyes focus on Derek Mays, and there's nobody home. Little high step in time for Jimmy Spencer. And you see John Kitna initially get hit, and he pulls back, and that ball came out of there a little squirrely. Not a perfect spiral. And once again, this weather probably having an impact on the throws that we're seeing today. And he's shaking his head, and it looks like some miscommunication right there. Looked like the receivers weren't in the area that John Kitna thought. And you see, when you get 2 receivers in that same spot, one of those receivers is supposed to run a lookie inside.
So the Broncos send it away. Charlie Rogers from the 2. Charlie Rogers gets up to the 25 and a flag on the play. And it's holding against the Seahawks.
Holding, 33 during the return, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Maurice Kelly. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what happens this evening in Florida could determine who the next president will be. So this is one 60 Minutes you don't want to miss. 60 Minutes tonight, followed by an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel Then Della Reese and Rue McClanahan star in the CBS Sunday movie The Moving of Sophia Myles. It's all here. Don't miss it tonight on CBS. 5:44 to go, fourth quarter play. Broncos lead the Seahawks 31-24. John Kitna throwing an interception for a touchdown. His last pass. Play action Kitna. Scrambles over the middle, caught by Ricky Waters at the 27. And one more look at the touchdown by Jimmy Spencer.
One thing, Gus, you're going to see two receivers running this square out. You don't have two guys in the same zone because it brings all the defensive players over there. With the quarterback looking, somebody's got to be running the look right. You see both two guys in the same spot. There's Jimmy Spencer. He splits the difference, comes up with the big interception. One of those receivers, and I'm not sure which one, ran the wrong route. That's why we saw John Kitna shaking his head.
First down and 10 from the 27. They throw the screen. Waters with a convoy in front of him. Waters cuts it inside. And Ricky Waters gets to the 44-yard line. Stopped on the play by Bill Romanowski. And Romanowski doing a good job to get over there. It's a gain of 16.
And Romo always does a good job of pursuing across the field. He never stops on a play. That's part of what's made him good.
A quick update. Under a minute left in this game, Oronde Gadsden puts Miami ahead with the touchdown, 17-14. First and 10 from the 43. Kitna dumps it. And another flag.
Ground him again. And he's pointing to the receiver. He's pointing to Ricky Waters. Ricky was trying to say, hey, I was right there. He's trying to throw the ball down. Wasn't out of the pocket. And that's what the referees are conferring. Was the receiver close enough, and was he making an effort to get the ball to the receiver? And I guarantee you, Ricky wasn't one of the receivers. He was blocking.
Intentional grounding, number 7, offense. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Also includes loss of down, second down.
And the Seahawks were trying to say that they were throwing it toward Ricky. Watch Ricky right here. He's going to be blocking. He doesn't even turn around. You see John Kitna go ahead and pump, and there's Ricky standing right there, and there's the ball delivered 3 or 4 yards outside of him. If Ricky would have turned and had his head around, maybe so, but he's in the act of blocking, and that's a big-time penalty right there. And you got to go ahead and point at your guy and try to convince the official, hey, my running back was right there. Except I don't even know if Ricky was realizing that John Kitna was pointing at him.
That makes it 2nd and 20 from the 33. Kitna on the play fake, steps up, fires to the sideline, out of bounds.
When John Kitna's been getting a lot of pressure here in this fourth quarter, every time he's gone back, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line played a lot more solid in the first half. Denver's bringing the house. Mike Holmgren talked about a junkyard defense. They'll bring guys off the corner, guys inside, loops, stunts, and that's what John Kitna's seeing an awful lot of right now.
Just a reminder, 60 Minutes will be seen next in its entirety, except for those of you in the Pacific and Mountain Time zones, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. 3rd and 20 from 33. They need to go to the 47-yard line for a first down.
Boy, I'd throw it up to Derek Mays and let him go up and get it.
They throw the screen. Ricky Waters! Waters!
It's going to be a touchdown.
Ricky Waters! High steps down the sideline and out of bounds. First down. Great call by Mike Holmgren. 59 yards.
And I can't believe on 3rd and 20 you aren't thinking screen or big throw up downfield, and it's screen. Ricky does a great job of just catching the ball, and there was nobody. You see him running right by Pete Kendall, and all of a sudden Jimmy Spencer's going to come in from the other corner position on the other side of the field. Oh, man, and Mike Shanahan saying, how can we let that happen? 3rd and 20. We got to know better than that.
Waters.
This defense giving up big plays all year.
First and goal from the 8. Kitna on the slant. Caught. Touchdown, Dawkins. And, folks, we've got a good old-fashioned track meet here in Seattle.
Well, this has been a fun fourth quarter, I'll tell you that much.
John Kitna putting that ball right on the money, and right now Ryan Lindell can tie it up with the extra point. It's good. And we are tied with 4:02 to go in the fourth, 31 apiece.
Sean Dawkins doing a nice job just running the slant. Get inside the defender. Gets a little bit more horizontal. Just steps right up and into the end zone. John Kitna putting it right on the numbers, letting him run. Watch him come flat on the slant. So flat, Eric Brown overruns it. Eric Brown's got to be right there. And you think John Kitna's fired up? Darn right. That's right. Get out of my face. I just threw a touchdown.
Agony on the sideline for the Broncos.
And Gus is the key. They ran a couple of screens. They turned the water back on here in the fourth quarter. The spigot was shut off in the third quarter. They turned the water back on. Came up with some big plays again.
So 31 apiece. 4:02 to go. Fourth quarter. The drive, 6 plays, 86 yards. Ricky Watters, 3 catches, 88 yards on the drive alone. He's over 100 yards on the day. Line drive kick. Delta O'Neal bobbles it, picks it up at the 11. And O'Neal is down at the 20. Join CBS Sports next Saturday at 12 noon for one of the great rivalries in American sports, Army-Navy. Then it's the season premiere of CBS Sports coverage of college basketball when Kentucky takes on North Carolina at 3:30 Eastern. The NCAA premieres on CBS. First down and 10 from the 20. Play action. Farrat rolls. Here's a double move looking for Rod Smith, who almost got Williams. And Mike Holmgren on the Seattle sideline. Well, I tell you, you're watching 2 great offensive coaches go to work today.
Well, you know I know that, and they are both playing this great chess match, and it turned into a free-for-all here in the fourth quarter. And pulling out all their great offensive plays. You see Ricky Watters becoming one of the leading receivers. You see Rod Smith being one of the leading rushers.
And update, Miami beats Indianapolis 17-14. Mike Vanderjagt misses a 59-yarder at the end. And meanwhile, Anderson down the sideline. Mike Anderson still running. Holy mackerel. 80 yards. Man. What a run.
Well, one thing we're going to say,
holy mac,
there's not a lot of defense being played out on the field here in the second half.
Wow. Mike Anderson, 27 carries, 187 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And there's going to be nobody there. All of a sudden, he breaks into the secondary, and there's nobody around. Where is the safety?
So the Broncos can take a 38-31 lead. And they do. Wow. Mike Anderson.
And Gus, the blocks on the outside, the wide receivers, McCaffrey and Smith making big blocks. Watch the block outside here. Watch Bellamy right here get up into the... You can't get caught up in the wash. You're the safety. You're coming up. There's a run. You get smashed down by the receiver's block on the outside, and there's nobody home. Now here comes Sean Springs. He's faster than Mike Anderson. Watch Mike Anderson high step right here. Boom. Kick that leg out. Touchdown.
And Mike Anderson now with 963 yards rushing on the season.
Wow, big time block. Rod Smith knocking the corner right into Bellamy. Nobody there. Springs, Anderson, high step.
Not bad for a guy that was in the band instead of on the football team in high school.
You got to have your safeties either come up or know the angles, know where guys are coming. And Mike Anderson just a little belly outside, and there's nobody home.
And Gus Frerotte, nobody can be happier. Running down the sideline.
Boy, Mike Anderson, I mean, I knew he had some speed, but that was big-time speed. And we know how fast Sean Springs is.
And the Seattle defense continues to give up big plays. Mike Anderson is the 7th 100-yard rusher allowed this season by the Seattle defense. Charlie Rogers from the goal line. Trying to answer, and Rogers gets up to the 24. Now, just a reminder, 60 Minutes will be seen next in its entirety, except for those of you in the Pacific and Mountain time zones, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Mike Anderson.
He's saying right now, hey, did you check out that speed downfield? And I'm using my head. I knew Springs was coming. I was getting ready for that high step. Give the rookie a chance to brag a little bit.
First down from the 24-yard line for Kitna. On the slant call, dropped by Dawkins. He loses a shoe in the process. Ball thrown a little bit behind him.
Well, and one of the things, if you're a Seattle Seahawk right now, you're not just playing for this game, you're playing for your job next year, because if this defense keeps playing like it is, there's going to be a total house cleaning around here. And how about this Denver Bronco team? I mean, I'd really like to think the Broncos are going to be in the playoff hunt, but if their defense keeps playing like this, they're not going to win a game in the playoffs. They have got to solidify. Too many big plays.
Kitna over the middle, incomplete, broken up. Trevor Price getting a hand on it. So the Broncos last week in the fourth quarter, this week in the fourth quarter. So 3:17 to go in the fourth quarter, 38-31. Third down and 10 from the 24. They need to get to the 34 for a first down. Kitna steps up. Incomplete. Fourier, the intended receiver. So now on third down, make it fourth down and 10. Here comes the punt team. Jeff Fiegels will punt it away. He's at the 9-yard line. Delta O'Neill back at the 35. Wobbly kick. Fair caught at the 33. A 44-yard punt. 3:05 to go. Fourth quarter. Broncos up 38-31, a 21-point fourth quarter. And Gus Frerotte comes back onto the field. The Broncos winners of 3 straight games, the Seahawks winners of 2 straight.
Now, back at CBS News election headquarters, some of our stations are joining us for this special report.
The reason we're on the air right across the board nationally right now is because Florida's Secretary of State, a Republican, as we mentioned before, who campaigned actively for George Bush, well connected to the Governor Bush's governor brother, Jeb Bush, in Florida, but a woman who has consistently said, I'm trying to do my job right down by the letter of the law as best I can. She has said that she will be out in a very short time here now. And what's expected of her is that she will certify, as she sees it, who gets Florida's 25 electoral votes. Those 25 electoral votes potentially will be decisive. As of the moment, Vice President Al Gore leads in the national popular vote. He leads in the Electoral College vote. However, he has 267 in the Electoral College vote. It takes 270 to win, and the 25 electoral votes from Florida are figured to be decisive. All of this against a background of the U.S. Supreme Court saying that it will hear arguments next Friday. But here is the Secretary of State now to make her long-awaited announcement in Tallahassee, Florida.
Good evening. Commissioner Bob Crawford, Director Clay Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. As the State Elections Canvassing Commission, we are here today to certify the results of the election that occurred November 7th, 2000. Because of the great interest in our actions, we are meeting publicly rather than meeting individually, as has been our traditional practice. Before we proceed, I wish briefly to review why we are here tonight. It was, and it remains, my opinion, that the appropriate deadlines for filing certified returns in this election are those mandated by the legislature. And it remains my opinion that the proper returns in this election are the returns that were certified by those deadlines. The Florida Supreme Court, however, disagrees. The court created a new schedule for filing certifications and conducting election contests rather than implementing the schedule enacted by the legislature, and that is the schedule that we're following tonight. Prior to certification, there is one matter I wish to discuss concerning the returns. In accordance with the direction of the Supreme Court, my office accepted amended returns until 5 p.m. today, and these amendments are reflected in the statewide canvass returns, copies of which will be available. Palm Beach County has submitted a document that purports to be an amended return, but contains two different compilations of the presidential vote. One set of numbers is identified as a partial manual recount that fails to comply with the provisions of Section 102.166. The other set of numbers is identified as the machine count required by law in this election. And these numbers are identical to those that were certified by the Palm Beach County Canvassing Board on November 14th. These latter numbers are the numbers included in the statewide canvass. Copies of the Palm Beach County document will also be made available.
What's happening here is that the certification, as the Florida Secretary of State sees it and decrees it, is being signed. This obviously is going to take a few minutes, at least a few moments. And after this, it will be in at least the opinion of the Secretary of State that the results will be final. The Secretary of State, as she is restated here, in effect, believes that the election certification that she gives should stand. The Florida State Supreme Court disagreed, saying that the certification today would be the deadline 5 p.m. The Secretary of State has said the certification she wanted to give on November 14th should stand. Then the Florida State Supreme Court set today's deadline, 5 p.m., or they said she could wait until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. She declined to do that. That was one of the keys in the Palm Beach hand count. The leaders of that not getting the extension that they had asked for tonight. As judicial signings go on, this is the Secretary of State and others certifying the statewide outcome as they view it. This action is being challenged already. David Boies, the lead lawyer for Democratic Vice President Al Gore's campaign, said that this certification would be challenged tomorrow on at least 3 grounds and probably more. That would be an official contest of the election results.
The certified result in the presidential race in Florida is as follows. Governor George W. Bush, 2,912,790. Vice President Al Gore, 2,912,253. Accordingly, on behalf of the State Elections Canvassing Commission and in accordance with the laws of the state of Florida, I hereby declare Governor George W. Bush the winner of Florida's 25 electoral votes for the President of the United States. Commissioner Crawford, would you like to address that?
See it starting to slide out, but he gripped it right before he went down.
And they've taken the 10 seconds off of the clock, 1:33. Meanwhile, let's take a look. We'd like to welcome you back to Seattle, Washington, Husky Stadium, 38-31. Broncos on top of the Seahawks. We left with 3+ minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And right now the Seahawks have the ball with no timeouts. First down and 10 at their own 47. John Kitna in the pocket, complete. Mays with the catch. Mays gets inside Denver territory. And the Seahawks are using the hurry-up offense right now. with 1:20 and counting. Kitna again. Over the middle. Fourier with the catch at the 40. Stays in bounds. Mobley trying to stay on top of him.
Still got plenty of time, Gus. You see John Kitna giving the hand signals outside to the receivers.
And Fourier is shaken up.
And he's not going down.
Kitna throws it into triple coverage out of bounds. May not be a bad play. And now the Seahawks will have an opportunity to catch their breath. Fourier comes out of the game.
And a heads-up move by Fourier, not going out of the game. He barely ran his route, but he was hurt, and had he stayed down on the field, the rules state that they would have had to run 10 seconds off the clock there in the final 2 minutes for a team that doesn't have a timeout left.
2nd down and 10 from the 39. 38-31 our score. Kitna drops back over the middle, incomplete, intended for Etulamili. Nice defense there by Bill Romanowski, the 13-year veteran.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get Romanowski on the seam route right here in the last few minutes. He's running back at the snap of the ball. He wants to keep everything in front of him.
Makes it 3rd down and 10. What do you do now, Brent?
Well, you want to think sideline, of course, number 1, but you can still run that deep over route. 51 seconds left. You got time. If you run the deep over at 15 or 20, you can still get the lineman up and go ahead and spike the ball. It'll only run about 20 seconds off the clock.
Remember, Kitna is not a bad runner. Here's Kitna. Rolls out of the pocket. Throws across the middle. Incomplete. Wow. Etulamili mistimed his jump.
Yeah, jumped a little early, tried to hang up in the air, and the ball floated a little bit behind him. Keep your feet on the ground in this type of situation. You see John Kitna, not the prettiest ball. Mealy coming back instead of just stop and pivoting the other way. Stop and come back, and you see his momentum bringing him away from the ball. And here comes the big 4th down, Gus.
This could be it. They need to go to the 30 for a 1st down. They're at the 40. Seattle 0 for 1 on 4th down tries today. Mays the motion man. Kitna over the middle, incomplete, and that should be your ball game. No flags. Delta O'Neal, who's been around the ball all afternoon, breaks it up, intended for Derek Mays, and the Seahawks turn it over on downs.
And Delta O'Neal coming up big today. More than a few times you see him ripping through right there when the ball's delivered to Derek Mays. Big time play for a rookie. Let's see Mike Shanahan's reaction. Yes. Got away with another one.
Certainly did. In a shootout. So with 40 seconds to go, no timeouts for Seattle. Broncos will take a knee. And that should do it. Mike Holmgren makes the walk across the field to congratulate Mike Shanahan. 38-31, the final score. The Broncos defeat the Seattle Seahawks and improve to 8-4 on the season. So don't forget, tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by Touched by an Angel, then the CBS Sunday Movie. Final score, 38-31, Denver. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of
rainstorm on the flubber at Husky Stadium. Brock Heward, concussion, been out for about a month, and sacked by John Mobley. It's a fumble. This time it's a rib injury. Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket. Gus Farrat, the Steve DeBerg of the modern era, keeping both teams in the game. Sacked by Anthony Simmons. Michael Sinclair picks it up. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. 63 yards. 7-0. Seabags. 3rd quarter at 17-14. Denver, though. Seattle is on the 7, and John Kitna picked off by Eric Brown in the end zone. Very next play, Mike Anderson. It's a fumble, and Chad Brown picks it up. Touchdown, Seattle. What a wild game, but it gets even wilder. 21-17 Seattle. 24-17 Seattle, 4th quarter. Ron Smith out of the backfield. Look at him running. 50 yards. Rod Smith, the running back, the veteran, touchdown.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan, a way to get some speed in the backfield. Great job of cutting back by Rod Smith.
Tied at 24 for Rod. No, he's picked off by Willie Williams. Touchback, 5th takeaway of the game for Seattle Seahawks. 2 plays later, John Kitna. Oh, no. Jimmy Spencer for hire. Touchdown. It gets better. Wait a minute. 31-24, Denver. Kitna, screen to Ricky running Waters. In the rain. Look at him on the flubber. He runs faster. He jumps higher. He runs 59 yards down to the 8. Next play. 4 minutes to go. Kitna caboodles it to Sean Dawkins. 31 off. Wait a minute. It gets better. Next possession after the kickoff. Mike Anderson, simple off-tackle play. Oh, yeah, it's simple. He could go all the way. The ex-Marine, 80 yards, 38-31 Denver. Monday night against the Raiders. The big comeback against San Diego. This game against Seattle. When will it end? The Broncos are now 8-4, Tom, as they win by a touch.
Yeah, it's all about the mindset of this ball club. I tell you, they have to have their backs against the wall to play their best football. That's unfortunate because you can't always depend on that.